It's time for some Monday night roar. Hide your wives, hide your kids, hide your husbands. It's time for the one, the only Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight Bitch. Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Monday. We have He's here to talk about the latest in pop culture news. Let's not waste any time. Joining us once again is Arr. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you all tonight?
Doing the best we can.
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Indeed. I'm glad you are here, Miss Lorena Creole, as always, the hostess with the mostest. How you been?
I have been great. I've been great and so glad to be back here with all of you, you in the chat, you on the panel, especially happy that Mandy is back joining us this
Well,
week.
steal my thunder here, because last but not least, back with us finally after a long hiatus, Miss Mandy Summers. How you been?
What? Hey, y'all. I have missed y'all like crazy. Biggest hugs to everybody in the chat. I have missed y'all. Miss you, ladies. Tom, I miss you like crazy. I'm
Getting
so
much
glad to be
love
back,
in the
you
chat
guys.
already. So glad to have you back.
Mhm.
Nina's dealing with some family stuff or whatever, so she'll be back next week, I believe. But that's all right. We're going to be doing, or not next week. I think the week after. I think she's got 2 weeks
2
left.
weeks. She's
Yeah.
doing family stuff for 2 weeks.
But yes, a wild Mandy has appeared, and I'm sure we'll get plenty of updates on how the critters are doing.
There's
Speaking
one right
of,
now. Yep, there's one right now.
Oh, she's
Poochie.
so big.
She is.
Oh my
She's
goodness.
Look,
Look at her.
look at how big she
Oh
is.
my God.
Wow.
She's still chewing on everything, though.
Everything she chews all day. Like, look,
Oh,
all day.
I see that.
She's
Poor girl.
precious though, and she's really smart. She knows all kinds of tricks.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she's a
We're so
smart
glad to
beagle.
have you here. It's been too damn long. We got
Mhm.
tons to talk about, but let's not waste too much time here. Let's get to some of these super chats because you guys are throwing them in here
Yes.
already. Let's start at the
Thank
very top here. We've
you.
got Christian Corlejo who sends in our first one, it looks like.
All right. Well, Christian Coralejo for $5. Thank you so very much for that. I asked this on Midnight's Edge, but I would like to ask you ladies for research for my novel. What ideas and concepts would you like to see in sci-fi?
He just didn't like my answers.
I really haven't.
I kind of
thought about
liked.
that.
I don't know if it's be considered sci-fi, but you remember in Lord of the Rings how that girl was an elf and she had to choose a mortal life to be with the really hot guy.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
I like stuff like that. Put in something like that, something cool like that. Like they can't be together because of some sci-fi thing, and then it works out like that. And put in something like that. Something.
I like stuff like Rick and Morty, like funny, drunken, like misadventures of people in space, kind of like Space Dandy. I've watched Space Dandy recently, and I liked it.
That was funny.
I liked it. He's always going to boobies.
Yeah, boobies.
Boobies.
Like Hooters in space. I have to finish watching season 2 of that. For me, yeah, I gotta get a little nerdy. I kind of like the idea of like two civilizations who it's hard for them to coexist, but they can't live one without the other.
Yes.
So I like that tension of figuring out can they coexist And is there something else that gets thrown in the mix that says you have to coexist or you're going to die? So I kind of like that intrigue
that is
in
nice.
there.
Sounds
Kinda
like a
like
Star
a,
Trek episode.
Probably. Probably.
Exactly.
It's like kind of in a way, one of my favorite books is A Tale of Two Cities. So it's kind of,
that's a
Best of
good
times,
one.
and it was the worst of times.
yes, I like that. So
Hmm.
Mandy,
Oh,
you
this
wanna
is
get
me.
this
Oh,
one?
wow.
Yes,
It's been
it
so long.
is.
Just some other guy for $19.99. Thank you so much, Love Bug. Greetings, ladies. Tom, I acknowledge your existence. Question for Cameron if he shows up. I'm a patron of yours, but do you remember my username? Hint, it's a Star Wars character. There is another $20 if he gets it right. And
Well,
he will be here,
I say,
I
yeah,
think,
you will
within
be
the
here,
first
yeah.
hour.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Second hour.
Second hour, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. We won't forget, though, just some other guy.
Very
Promise.
generous.
We'll remember. And thank
Wow.
you.
In fact, I'll
Yes.
throw that one in the private chat while grabs Dark King's super chat.
Yes, Dark King for $2 Australian.
Yes.
Yeah.
$2 Australian for Dark King. Thank you
Australian.
so much, Dark King. No more hail. Light drizzle to the ladies and Tom.
Aw. Yay, I like light
Light drizzle to you as well.
Is that meaning things are getting a bit moist?
Yes.
Something's getting moist.
Yes.
Well, Joker Voice for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear. Monday night. Sorry, God, my throat's dry. Hello, ladies and Tom. Lovely
doing?
Harley impression Nina. Can I get a hey, Mr. J? Hashtag keep talking.
Well, I
Aw,
think you
now
sent
I
this
miss
before we started the show, but
Mhm.
Now I
yeah.
miss Nina.
yeah, I wish you could have been here. Then
Me too.
would
I
have been
miss
perfect. But I don't know. Can anybody else do a good Mr. J?
Oh, well, my southern ass can, of course. Hey, Mr. J.
That's not too bad.
Southern version.
It works.
Oh,
And
well,
then
I tried.
hashtag keep talking. Yeah.
I tried. I did the best I could.
Like Lorena's like, I'm not even attempting, and Arden's like, don't ask me.
Oh no, I already did. Y'all missed it.
I guess
I
so.
heard you. You did amazing.
I heard you as well. I thought you
It
did
was-
very well.
It was
Oh, I guess I was.
beautiful.
Yeah, when you read it, duh. I'm having a moment. A
There
senior
you
moment.
go, Mandy.
Senior moment. Let's see. Aiken for $2.99 Australian. Thank you so much, hon. Hey there, ladies. As alluring as usual. Hi, Tom. Oh, and he's got a little koala.
Oh,
How you
I
doing?
see that.
Thank you.
Hey, and we have Bird Up in the house. Bird Up for $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Bird Up. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you, Bird Up.
Cheers. Cheers. And we have deleted scenes for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear. Hey, Lorena. Mandy, welcome back.
Buy her book.
Yes.
Buy my book.
Hi, Mandy's book. We got Tom, Mods, and Chat. Hashtag free zipper. Hashtag free Frank. Hashtag buy Mandy's book. Hashtag I'm out of hashtags. Are you sure?
Put a hash brown on it and send it to the internet.
Let's see. And this is Mandy, the
Yep,
Tweaky
The
Kid.
Tweaky Kid for $9.99. Wow, thank you so much, hon. Hail panel. I'm recovering from Omnicoof. Oh, me too, love bug. Mandy coming back ain't a fever dream, right? No.
Maybe
Great
you
job
two
with
are
the-
having a fever dream of each other.
That's what it was. Ooh, that's
That's
hot.
some meta shit.
That is. Let's see. Great job with the Meatloaf tributes, Tom. They kept me entertained. Oh,
I'm glad
did you
you
name a
enjoyed it.
tribute to Meatloaf?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
That's sweet.
And then we got Dark King again.
Yes, Dark King for another $5 Australian. Looks like he's put our things together and combined it into a super chat, right? Here's a sci-fi concept I have never seen.
okay.
A multi-species galaxy-wide civilization where humans are the oldest and most advanced of all of them.
Oh, Lord help us. That would be like a Rick and Morty episode.
Wow.
Wouldn't it?
Wow.
No, because it looked like that, what is it? My Dad's from Space or something, or Mom and Dad Saved the Universe, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they had that whole planet of like Todds. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where
Yeah, I remember that movie.
where the humans from Earth were smarter than everybody on that planet. It was a great
Lord
movie.
help us if that is the case.
It'll
We are doomed.
be awesome. It'll
We're
be
so
awesome. We'll
doomed.
rule with that iron
No,
fist.
because all humans would do is fuck everything.
That they're gonna fuck the aliens.
And
There's
use
Yeah,
up
we're
all the
definitely gonna
resources.
fuck the aliens.
Definitely.
Let's see. And we have Luck Nut 6 for $5. Thank you so much, my dear. To the beautiful heavenly diamonds of Toxic Femme. Lorena and Mandy. 3 hearts. And to Tom, salute.
How you doing?
There we go.
He's on it.
And then we got a member chat in the private chat real quick if you
okay.
want to grab that. And then we got one more, and then we're going to get to the news.
Yes, so Merlin's has sent us a member chat, and he has been a member for 7 months. Wow, thank you so much. And he said, let's see, 100% bangable certified.
Oh.
Oh.
What in the world could you even be referring to, I wonder?
Who's bangable?
Well, I know I am.
He was talking to you, Tom.
Yeah, forget
Clearly.
us.
It's a
That's
girl.
all me, but look at me in this suit. I am styling like a motherfucker.
You are styling in that
You
suit,
are.
Tom.
Ah,
I'm giving Kingpin a run for his money.
very
You've got the
sharp.
look, Tom. You've got the
Very
look.
sharp.
I want to know better.
That's
Casket
right.
sharp, as my friends would say.
Roxette, look out, because I got the look. That's right. That pickup line is from the 80s, kids.
That was a good one.
True.
That was good.
All right. Then we got Stephanie Janisek hanging out here.
Mhm.
Yes. Hey, Stephanie, Janice Extracellular's Cantina. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I hope you're doing well tonight. Say hi to Cameron for me, girls. Now behave.
Is that for me or them?
You.
I don't know.
Oh,
That
that's
was
a
for
good
you,
point.
too.
Yeah.
Because we
Was I
always
not
That's-
supposed to
behave.
read it?
Yeah.
Well, I hear behave so much that I never know. So.
Mhm.
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave. Wow. Yes.
Mr.
That's why we call it
Tickle.
Monday Night Rawr.
There we go.
And then Mr. Tickle Trunk sent us a super sticker.
She the eater dog squeezing a big red heart. So
Aw.
cute. Thank you, Mr. Tickle.
Thank you
Trunk,
so
for
much,
that.
Mr. Tickle Trunk. And then we're gonna put a pin in the super chats for now. We got one more member chat, and then we're gonna get to the news. Nicholas Horton sent us one.
Let me pop over there. Yeah, Nicholas Horton, who has been a member for 10 months.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. And he
Thank
says,
you.
hi, Tom and lovely ladies. The concept of where two different planets have to work together in the end is a regular storyline in sci-fi anime.
Hint, hint. They want you to watch more anime. See?
Oh, I'm down with that. I'm watching season 2 of Demon Slayer now. Oh my
Ooh.
See?
god.
Yeah, these ladies are up to speed on that shit. I'm so far behind.
We can catch you up, Tom.
Yes.
I'm sure
We
you
can
will.
catch you up.
So with that, I'm gonna kick myself to the back room. You know what? We got music now, by the way. You can play music in the
We do?
background. You guys hear this shit?
No.
Oh, shit.
Yo, it's time for Toxic Femme. I don't know what rhymes with femme. And this coming from the guy who wrote the song, Everything I Wear Looks Like Shit on Me. Anyway, I'm going into the back room.
Oh man, that was funny.
I had a good one too. Like, it's time for Toxic Femme. These bitches are blingier than a gym.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write
Yeah.
that
Hey,
down.
That's my white girl rap for
let's
today.
do it. Oh man,
This girl. this girl.
She is the gift that keeps on giving. These people they can't shut up.
No, she can't stop herself. She's just gonna say stupid after stupid after stupid.
Weird. It's like she's on a mission. Like she just has to, make sure everyone in the galaxy knows about this.
Yes.
Like it's
yes. And she obviously does not want, you can tell by her appearance, she is very anti anybody like rubbing one out to her. Like, and if you try, she's going to make it as challenging as humanly possible. But the joke is on her because I know you guys, y'all like a good challenge. I know y'all ain't gonna, not on y'all's watch. You'll get it done. I believe. That's because that's her whole bitch, right? Is that she's mad because she's not as bangable as the two girls that were there before her.
Yeah.
That's kind of her whole rant, right?
Yeah, she has like these self-esteem issues, I guess, because she's comparing herself to people for no reason. Why is she comparing herself to someone else? It's, she should be proud of who she is. And this comparison is just unnecessary. I don't understand, why she would even do that. And it's kind of not fair to the other women who were there before her. They don't have anything to do with this.
No, it's incredibly rude to drag them into this. Just so incredibly rude.
But she had, unfortunately, some of the things that she said, I think a lot of people, when they hear them for the first time about, rubbing one off and, jerking off or being bangable, it's really just not fair for her to even be blurting this out because, it's human nature to have attraction to other people. And, to kind of like fault somebody because let's say hypothetically someone did want to jerk off to her photo. It's like, that's a private thing. And, it's kind of like it's almost like she's saying, it's not okay to be attracted to somebody. And this is that fear that people are having. We're seeing in articles that people are afraid to give compliments to other people. Could you imagine being the person who wants to give her a compliment and what her response might be back? She doesn't want anyone to look at her like that way, but it's human nature to be attracted to other people. Like it's unnatural to think that no one is going to be attracted to you for that purpose. So, it's just kind of weird to make a comment like that.
It's weird, but it's not out of the ordinary for someone like her, because according to her, it's like, I'm not happy with who I am. And so let me project that onto someone else. Oh, you don't like what I have to say because I look like this, or I'm not, I don't look like this pretty person over here, or I don't look like this pretty person over here. That says more about your lack of self-esteem than anything else. And that's what women like her will do. So they won't like say someone finds fault, rightfully so, with something she said, which they did. And rather than say, okay, you know what, I screwed up, that's on me. No, it's you're coming at me because you're a sexist. You wouldn't come at me like this if I did, if I looked like Olivia Munn or I looked, more attractive. And it's just, it's disingenuous, but she is going down swinging.
Yeah. With the complaints, the fans had, don't get me wrong, I am in no way going to say that there were not a small handful of assholes that were in the chat because she is a female that attacked her looks. Every single female on the internet are going to get that. When you first log on and like get on camera, people are going to kind of objectify you as a female. That is just how it is. You roll with it. You hold your own. And yes, it is true. A female in a male dominated place, you do have more to prove coming up in there. Again, these are gamers. You better come equipped. Know your fucking shit. When you show up, they're not going to take any less. And they don't care if you're male, if you're female, if you're in between, if you're a bug. They don't give a shit. What they want to know is, do you know your shit? She didn't come with it. She didn't know what the hell she was talking about. So much, she even later said She don't even write her own shit. There's writers that actually do the playing and then write up their reviews, and she just reads off like a piece of paper. So know your shit. That's the problem people had with her. It ain't your looks.
And not only that, the fact that she can't cop to when she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because everybody screws up from time to time. Of
course. Everybody says stupid shit. I say 10 stupid things every night. Everybody says dumb shit.
Exactly. It's different when it's like, you know what? I screwed up. I got that wrong. But you don't screw up and then basically turn around and say, it's your fault that I screwed up.
They do now.
I think it's because you don't want to fuck me, ain't it? Or I mean, what?
That's the type of shit guys say. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, I popped in quick to point out that it's not just that men that do that either. Women objectify just as much, and plenty of women do too. I mean, I know for a fact right now that is objectifying my icon as I speak, and I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
No, I objectify the crap out of people. How many of y'all hit me up in Twitter and on my text messages saying, guess what? Jason Momoa is single now.
But you know, the title of her rant shouldn't have been sexism in gaming. It should have been self-esteem in gaming.
That's what it should have been.
No real pride, and just be happy with who she is and own up to your mistakes. And it's supposed to be a fun thing. This is supposed to be entertainment. It's not supposed to be, absolutely. If she's making mistakes, they don't really care that she's a woman. They just want to get the information right, because there were gamers who were playing and maybe she said something that might have been a hint or something and it was wrong. And you don't want to go down the wrong tunnel or, press on the wrong button or whatever. We're all on there enjoying the games and watching other players play these games because we want to learn something. We want to learn something from the other players. It's true we get enjoyment from watching the game, but we are there to learn. So, that's another part of it too. And there's a certain responsibility if you make a mistake or say go down the wrong area or a joke or something, it can mislead some people. And for the most part, whenever I've ever seen any sort of cooperative play, there are going to be very few people who may say something wrong. And most gamers will say, hey, you can't do that here. We have some people who are under 18 or whatever, no foul language, like they actually call out each other. So there's a lot of, sort of like self-regulation in the gaming groups that way. And for the most part, they're not going to know what sex you are anyway, unless they know who you are. So there's a lot of anonymity in this whole thing. Right. She's a commentator, so they'll see her and they'll know what she is. But, she has, unfortunately, this idea in her mind that, people need to, and Lorena had mentioned it before, part of her response to all this is that, one of the things that people have to do in order to understand this is to sort of read up on specific literature. And that's exactly the type of response that, is really, she's just saying that she doesn't think anybody who's listening to this or any of these people who she's calling perpetrators are educated enough to understand what she's saying. So therefore they must read all this material to, bring them up to speed.
Come up to my level. The issue with this girl is it's not her appearance. Even though this is not what I would be attracted to with females, there are guys that are. She is not like any girl can get laid. That's not even a thing, right? The problem with her is her personality. She is an SJW. She is a perpetual victim. And people just do not enjoy her content because she is a condescending bitch. And most people don't like being talked down to, right? Most people don't like being told, I'm smart, you're stupid, you're a disgusting sex pest, and I'm like a sex guy. Nobody wants to hear that shit, right? And that's what she does. That's what she did at the last place she worked for. Started a bunch of shit over there. Now she's come over here because this is a new job for her. No? Yes. Like, who shows up on your, like, I don't know, like your first month of work? Like, yeah, I got my new job ready to go. I'm tired of you fucking sexist motherfucker. Who does that? It's a bad move. It's a bad move.
Totally bad move. A move that, according to Social Blade, I'm not going back up to that picture.
No.
The fever pic.
So according to Social Blade, G4 has lost over 6,000 subscribers since she shot her mouth off in that video. Oh, also keep in mind, okay, G4 clipped that 2-hour stream down to those 3 minutes in that video and put it on freaking Twitter.
Yeah, because they're preaching down to you. They act like they're not, but they are preaching down to you that, hey, this as a channel, as a group, G4, this is what we believe so much that we are all going to clip this and put it up on our own private YouTubes. We're going to go put it up on our private Twitters, on Instagram, on Facebook, because this is the message that they want to get out there. And it's that, y'all were sex pests, basically.
And I almost wonder whether or not the reason why they're pushing it so hard is because they might have had some sort of sponsor to their particular program that wanted to push this commentary. I've heard of people, being, and I'm just curious as to whether they're happy to see the response, and they don't, the sponsor is like, fine, we don't care if you did that. We just like the message. We feel the message reflects us. And we're happy with that, because nowadays we're having sponsors who will promote, products, and the product doesn't even have to be in the commercial as long as it does the message they want.
Right. Well, I think they are somehow affiliated with Comcast. I don't know how that works. I don't know what's up with it, but from what I understand, they have an affiliate through Comcast.
It is, yeah. I think it's owned by Comcast. Originally, it was a DirecTV or Dish. I think it was DirecTV, and then Comcast ended up buying DirecTV, I think, a couple of years back with the whole thing with AT&T buying out Warner and all that business. I think so. Yeah, it is technically. You are right, Mandy. As far as I know, yeah.
So, do we know as far as like Comcast in general, with what is their stance on this woke shit? Most companies like that, I assume, are whatever makes money, right? But what do they feel about losing money? Because this is a total loss now for them. This channel is not. I don't know how they're going to come back from this. They were just getting their footing, just coming back, changed formats, changed everything up, and this is what they come back with. I don't
She's gone beyond the pale, but is this going to be one of the last rants like this we see in a while because of the current state of things? This shift that may be coming towards less woke, towards actually turning a profit and not pissing off all the fans shift.
Yeah.
Will something like this, will this be one of the last rants of this era that we'll ever see? I wonder. What do you both think?
I don't think they're going to go down quietly. I think they are so indoctrinated into their belief system that it would be trying to convince a devout religious person that their whatever God it is doesn't exist at this point. This is almost to the point of a disease with the wokeism. It's went past just a fad and has literally become its own entity, if you will. So no, I think we're going to see multiple. I agree 100%. I see a shift. People are getting pissed off. People that would normally be quiet are starting to speak up, which is what we've needed, was more numbers saying this is bullshit, right? Because up until then, they have been the loudest. They're like chihuahuas over there. So they're louder, right? But I noticed that people are, for lack of better words, they're kind of like starting to bitch a lot about this shit, rightfully so. I think we'll get more, thank goodness, because this is entertaining. So, but I agree with you 100%. I feel a shift. I see that a shift is happening. So, but I don't think these people are going to go down like just calmly and just like take the L and accept, because in their minds, the world is really like, they believe, a lot of them actually believe this shit that they're spewing. And what a horrible way to have to live inside your head with all of that hate, but they do. So
they do, because they get enabled with it. But yeah, I agree. It's like there's a shift that's happening, but it's very, very slow. Because another thing that you have to keep in mind is companies like Comcast, Coca-Cola, Okay, they have a vested interest in pushing, well, they'll call it diversity and inclusion, but in the vernacular, we know it as the woke movement. Okay, that's very powerful. Trying to pull the brakes off of that, it's not going to happen right away. But seeing things cracks like this happen, like them losing 6,000 subscribers since that happened, that's not something that's not something that's a small thing that you can ignore. And even in contrast, I'm going to thank Fat Steven actually for finding this. Okay, so during the last airing of Friday Night Tights this past Friday, okay, so these are 2 screenshots that were taken, all right, 11,506 people watching Neurotics channel. He's got 395K subscribers, all right. G4 TV has almost 500,000 and only 469 people watching their channel.
And they were watching to see if she was going to come out and rant again, right?
Oh yeah, you have to add into the fact that they are going to have bigger numbers right now while the drama is still going and still fresh. But I guarantee you, we looking like next week is going to be tapering and tapering and tapering until they're down to, whatever's still willing to listen to that. Because I do know there are some people that are like, why are y'all being so mean to her? But again, the problem is she is taking people that don't like her because of a shit personality and trying to make it seem like it's like they're jerking off to her and shit like that. How
I don't see that. That's something I have an issue with. It's like, what makes you think that you paint as if all gamers do that?
Yeah.
That all gamers for some reason are just gonna, jerk off to you. I don't. How dare you? It's not.
How dare you interfere in one of the most sacred rituals of a person in their life, masturbation. She has no right to go in there and finagle around and tell people that they're wrong for masturbating here or right for That's none of her business.
Exactly.
Come on. She's not going to be, it's not cool to destroy something that's so sacred that a lot of people do day in, day out. Let them be happy. This is, just stop vilifying people who masturbate. Enough is enough.
None of your business.
Well, it goes into this whole thing that it goes to show what she thinks of her audience.
Exactly.
She thinks it's a bunch of basement dwelling, perverts.
Yeah, that's thank you. Yes, she literally, because look at who she's saying this to. And then I love how SJWs always use the thing, well, if it's not about you, that I wasn't talking to you. No, bitch, you made a broad generalization over here.
Exactly.
Fuck you. You meant everybody. Don't try to backtrack now.
And to go back to your other question before, I believe it was Mandy who was talking about it, does Comcast really care? To a point. But here's the way they justify a lot of this stuff, and this is how they do the mental gymnastics. They will say that, those 6,000 people we lost, those were fans we didn't want anyway. Those were a bunch of sexist, misogynistic, basement-dwelling pigs, and now it's a safe space for all these other people to come in. This is the same mentality they go with every time they do something like this, right? And you may think I sound crazy, but I've actually heard these individuals say this shit about franchises, right? They will basically say that we want to do this on purpose to piss off a specific set of fans so that we can drive them away. They have literally said this so then we can make this a safe space for everybody else. That's their whole mentality on this shit.
Well, I believe it. Like I said, you have these places, you have these quote unquote diversity and inclusion initiatives, and there's nothing inclusive about it. So if you leave because you don't like it or they're trying to force fans out, they're like, we don't freaking care about you. We care about now we have the people that we really want and that we need to have.
Did they not have a research team that
they
could
do.
Go in and because by now they have to know that doesn't work from a business stance. I think what they're doing, if they're still just holding on, okay, yes, we're losing money now, but in the long run, in 2 years, this is really gonna, I mean, it's almost like that has to be how they're looking at this. That, yeah, we're losing now, but this is the way the world's changing, and give it 2 years and we're gonna be like, you know, we're gonna be making all the money like Scrooge McDuck swimming in the pool and shit.
You know what? It depends on what, and I use this term, Lucy. It depends on what idiot is running the company.
That's
you have
true.
some of them who are just like, we don't care about the money. We'll burn through it. It's all about the message. And then you might get some where it's just like, you know what? You need to freaking fix this.
Mm-hmm.
You need to fix it. It all depends on who's running it, you know, at the top. And honestly, that really is what it boils down to. So even if they have these research departments, which they do,
Mm-hmm.
you can lie with statistics.
Jesus.
You really can. It all depends on what news that they want to hear, unfortunately. But it really does my heart good to see stuff like this, because you just have regular folks who are tired of this freaking nonsense.
Yeah.
They're really tired.
They're taking it above and beyond what is necessary, right? They're making up problems that don't exist. If you look back in history, we are living in probably the best time ever as far as, you know, just everything being more fair, really, with, I mean, at least in America, everything's a little bit more fair. Technology is just blowing up. The world is a lot better than what it was, say, in the 1800s. So the bitching just seems so unnecessary to me.
And
so unnecessary.
And it's misplaced. And honestly, to even say that, you have people who, for lack of a better term, would almost cut their left arm off to get here to this specific country.
Correct.
Okay. From places that are, you know, where they don't have the same opportunities. That's exactly, you know, what it's like.
And I think it's interesting looking at this thread. This is something that someone wrote to her, right? This is a message that someone wrote to this G4 employee, correct?
Yes, I think this is a fan, right? This is just a fan.
And like when this person, if I'm speaking correctly, says, you know, you torture players and personalities, like by saying, you know, these things, she herself has been so mean. She it was kind of a hateful message towards anybody who masturbates. And, you know, like, how dare you, like I said, go into someone's private life and screw around with what they're doing. She has no right to dictate that. And when they said, you are the worst aspect of this incredible community, her response isn't, she didn't defend herself. She just said, die mad. I mean, you know, I don't think she is defendable for what she said, because she was equally mean, you know, towards everybody, and expecting them, you know, just to go ahead and take that type of verbal abuse from someone calling you these names, saying that you're these things. It's not natural for a person to respond with a, yeah, I'm open to talking about it. No, those were kind of, you know, vilifying words, and they were undeserved. And she doesn't see it that way. And I think everyone on earth except her saw it that way. It was meant to be hurtful, and you know, these were not kind words.
No, she was trying to be edgy and be mean, and she accomplished it. And then when everybody's like, no, fuck you, who the fuck are you? She's like, whoa, why are y'all being like this? Y'all are sexist against me. No, they're not. You're a raging cunt. That's why people don't like you. Sorry. That's why. It's not because of anything else other than you are just a unlikable SJW woke piece of shit. And you can take your film literature and shove it right up your ass is what you can do with that.
And masturbation is
the
safest form of sex that a person can have. Let them, you know, do what they want to do, but don't vilify somebody for their actions.
Unless you're into auto asphyxiation or whatever, then
well, that's different.
That's the thing.
You know, for her to, you know, kind of say that, and we've talked about, or at least I've spoken to a few men about these conversations where men aren't, you know, saying, well, I jerked off to this person or whatever. And I didn't really like the tone of it, because, you know, it's almost like she kind of cheapened it away. And it's like, even if someone does do something like that, it means something to them. Just because it doesn't mean anything to you, and it's not that important to you, and someone did that just because they wanted to get some pleasure, doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. That's what I'm really trying to say.
What she basically did was try to shame people, more specifically to shame men. Like, how dare you, do this? It's not for you to tell somebody not to.
I'm not here to look sexy for y'all dirty basement dwelling jerk offs. Who talks to their fans like that? Who does that, right? I mean,
she thinks that the gamers are her subjects.
Yeah, she does.
She really does. With the way that she talks down, how dare you? And how dare you? I'm going to tell you how you sexist men should behave. Never mind that you have gamers out there who are women. Now, you notice we haven't heard squat from her about that.
Is that well? She ain't gonna talk about that. That her little comment wasn't for them. Remember, she made sure to cover that. Well, if you're not doing it, then I wasn't talking to you. So like apparently she wasn't talking to us.
Quote Judge Judy, don't piss down my leg and tell me it's raining. Right. Of course you were coming for me with that statement.
Right.
I love that chick.
Okay. I would not go to her though. I would never go to Judge Judy for court.
She freaking scares me.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that this response that this fan gave was maybe a very respectful response.
Incredibly.
Because they're saying, kind of like, I've been watching you for a long time. And, for he or she to say, I gave you so much of my life, it's almost like they've been watching her, a longtime fan now. This is a longtime fan, he or she is very shocked by what they've witnessed. And maybe we don't know, but I haven't been monitoring her tweets or like her history or whatever. For someone to say that, maybe this is like somewhat of the ultimate insult, but there's no profanity in what this person is saying. There's no really degrading words. It's a true and honest, heartfelt response to something that was quite shocking to somebody, I'm sure, watching this, a good fan, maybe this person's favorite show, to see this,
Yeah, they had to sit there and listen to that. They just wanted to hear about Red Dead Redemption.
Yes,
I just wanted to hear about a game. I didn't want to have a lecture with you shaming me like, you're trying to be one of my parents, because that's how she came at everyone from the beginning. Sexism in gaming.
They were like,
come on, really?
Really?
Yeah. That's how she kicked it off, sticking her finger in the camera's face at you.
She's waving her finger around and shit. Yeah.
The whole thing.
It was just look at how thin-skinned she must be. You ladies, how many times have you been on a live stream and somebody in your chat say something shitty about you?
Yeah.
That happens.
What do you blow it? You look at this fucktard. You know what I mean? You go on and live in your life. You don't, because you are not thin-skinned like she is. She can't take it. I'm not trying to be ugly. This is not for everybody. Doing YouTube and being in the public and being like this, not everybody's can do it. I don't think she can, because if 2% of the chat was sitting there saying, oh, Olivia was a lot more fuckable than you, I mean, I wouldn't give a shit if somebody said, well, go fuck her then. I don't care.
That's your preference. All right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I wouldn't care. Right. But she cared so much that she literally stopped a stream about games to sit there and lecture all of her fans and all of, well, maybe not her fan, but all of that channel's fans about being dirty little sex pests in the basement.
And the guys next clapping like freaking
yes.
But what are they going to do? They're going to have to say
no. Well, they have no choice now. What are they going to do? They're going to say, I believe you're wrong. She's going to jump down their fucking throat. Look at her. She's a rabbit. I just let her.
How dare you question me? How dare you question me at the black eye questions? How dare you? Don't you know I'm an ally?
Yeah, exactly.
I've always done good by you people. Okay.
Oh my God. That was some 1950 shit right there.
But to go back to what was saying, in the Reddit thread, I'm actually going to scroll down in
I'll
this
be right back.
article. In the Reddit thread, if you read through it, there are people who are very politely saying, you know what, I really did, like you, but your attitude freaking sucks. And I've been watching you for years and I don't need to be, lectured to at all. And her comeback was basically, oh yeah, well, Family, I don't need you anyway. Very nasty.
Yeah, it's very questionable, and I think that it just goes to show the respect that the gaming community does actually have for one another. In a situation like this, which might be construed as a crisis situation, because when you go to this point, it's hard to kind of like come back from something like this. I don't see, a bunch of people being able to easily forgive someone after a tirade like that, for a number of reasons. Whether it was directed at them or not, it would be hard to kind of watch a show with this person and try and, forget what was said. What was really interesting about this Reddit segment that you have here, Lorena, was the first thing. One of the first things that stood out to me was that she talks about how she worked for a company. I guess it's the Riot Games LEC, and that they did not pay her for over 6 months. And
that means you fired, bitch.
I don't know about, I mean, honestly, I've never seen a situation like this where you work for a company and, they don't pay you for 6 months. Like, obviously, due to management failures, obviously I wouldn't stay there, but I guess she felt she had to stay there. Like,
that's the thing. After maybe a week, 2, okay, fine. 3 weeks in, you're like, fuck this shit. I ain't getting paid.
And even before that, you roll up to the payroll office like, where's my money?
Exactly. Nobody goes without their paycheck and like, oh, I didn't need it anyways.
She was probably an intern and just don't want to admit it.
That could be possible too.
But it might also show that, I'm not going to say that perhaps she was unaware of the agreement. That could be something else. She thought she was going to get paid. They're like, no, we weren't paying you. This is like some very odd situation to find yourself in. Usually questions you ask before you start
sign on a dotted line.
They
exactly.
fixed the glitch.
Yeah, it'll work itself out. We fix the glitch.
You mean he's fired? No, we just stopped paying him.
We moved his desk again.
Now, negotiations are never easy. And she does mention how difficult it was to stay there. So this woman must be dedicated to this company. 6 months without pay. She put up through sexist negotiations. And then, on top of all of it, she called them out for their lack of diversity, but they managed to hire her, who she may not be seen as a diverse hire, maybe whitewashed, if that's what they're saying. What is she saying? Is she implicating herself? It's so confusing.
Well, here's the thing. Of course, because she's a woman, she's kind of like to the side. This is how this works. The thing that pisses me off is you will get women like this who, rather than point the finger at them being screw ups, they try to say, oh, the company screwed up. The company's so whitewashed. It doesn't matter if it's whitewashed or not. That's not the issue. How do you know? Is it that the talent pool at the time, they just happened to pull people out who just happen to be white? Is it that? Or why are you making some broad assumption that it's some kind of conspiracy, that it's whitewashed? That's like going to, like, say, a country like India and saying, why are there so many Asians here? Or if there's like a Nigerian esports company, what are you going to say? You guys are all blackwashed? Really? I would love to hear you say that.
Right.
But it makes no sense.
So by her statement, they're not, are they not just hiring the best people for the fucking job?
Of course not.
I mean, because
In her
obviously
eyes-
not with her.
In her eyes, it's not.
No, and I guarantee you she's the type of person where if you confronted her with, well, why didn't you say something to management or anything like that about the 6 months? She'll come up with some excuse. Well, I just didn't feel comfortable. And I felt like I was intimidated. And
Please.
all these other stupid excuses I consistently hear when people make these broad accusations against a person or a company lately. And it's like,
Mhm.
so basically it's a you thing, you know, like, so we're
Yeah.
just supposed to go off that. Okay. Like, you say there's some injustice and you're a victim in some way, but you never in any way, shape, or form let anybody else around you know that you felt this way and kept it to yourself, but everybody was supposed to be some kind of fucking mind reader.
Yeah.
Now, without trying to sound a little topsy-turvy, it didn't stop her from taking the job.
Oh, heck no.
No, she didn't say, well, I don't want this. We
Mm-mm.
should give this to a minority instead of me. You know,
Oh, well,
'cause there's
know.
way too many, there are way too many white people in
Oh,
here.
yeah,
We
but
need,
she's an ally, though.
oh,
I get
yeah,
to be an ally. Don't you understand?
the
I
power of
hate
being
my
an ally.
whiteness,
To
but
be
I
clear,
have to be here.
I don't know if she ever said anything like that. I'm just assuming she'd be that type, just so people.
You know she
No,
is.
you
We
know it.
understand.
I've seen these types. You
Mhm.
know, I don't get this because I'm a woman. Oh, well, I didn't get this promotion because I'm a woman. I'm like, well, did you apply for it? Well, I didn't think I'd be qualified enough. Okay, so you didn't apply for
Didn't
it,
even
but
try.
yet you have an issue because the guy who did get promoted was a guy.
Just like when
You
Brie
didn't apply
Larson
for it.
was griping about somebody else getting a job that she applied for and felt that she was the one who should have gotten, and then tried to blame on a note from some white dude. Do you remember that story?
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard that story.
Yeah,
I
she
never
was
heard of
she
it
was on an
either.
interview and she was like, "Yeah, I lost a job once, I think, because I got a bad note from a white dude, which somebody else got that I was clearly qualified for." It's
This
like, bitch,
chick.
evidently somebody else got the job, right? That was a woman, and you're trying to twist it like somebody else got the job, even though you were qualified for it. Do you realize how fucking narcissistic you fucking sound right now? No, she's trying to twist it and gaslight it that it was somebody else's fault.
See, I freaking can't stand that.
Mm-mm.
I
It's
really
so
can't.
ridiculous. These bitches
Girl.
drive me crazy because we are
Mhm.
in the same kind of industry that they are, right? And when they do shit like this, it makes all of us look fucking bad. And
It
it
does.
just straight up pisses me off because, yet again, like I said, I accept the fact that as a woman in a more male dominated industry, I do have to prove myself a little bit more. Is that fair? Maybe not, but that is, believe me, the perks I'm getting are they make up for the fact that I do need to prove a little bit more than maybe what a guy would have to. At the same time, though, don't be a little fucking bitch about it.
I
Put
know,
on your big
right?
girl panties, go out there and fucking prove you know your shit. Oh, wait, you don't. And that's the problem.
That's exactly what it is.
And
There you go.
one other thing that she says, I think it's in the last
Yeah,
paragraph, Lorena, is that she had a breakdown, a full mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So she
Yeah.
said I would have yeeted myself if I stayed at the
Yeah.
LEC. Yeah.
And honestly, this is kind of a serious thing that she's talking about. And I feel terrible that she had that experience. And the only thing I'm going to say is I hope that she got the help that she needed so that, she won't ever feel like that again. And if she does feel that way again, I hope that she knows where to go to get help. And that goes for anybody out there who finds themselves in that situation.
Absolutely.
That's sweet.
Absolutely. Because that's a bad situation to be in. But the funny, interesting thing here is that you had one person on Reddit, and actually that thread was locked as of 6 hours ago because,
Yeah.
too many people spouting facts.
We don't like facts.
We don't
We
like
don't like
facts.
facts. That's
No.
not going to work.
But this one user who had a really interesting back and forth with her, actually Ryan Kennel did in a video on this, and I think Yellow Flash did as well, where they went through the whole Reddit thread with Sean,
Mhm.
tag team, and not tag team, but basically playing verbal ping pong with Frost.
Right.
But he basically told her, she was out of line. You wagged your finger at the community and you demonstrated incredible unprofessionalism and a lack of judgment that is not only immature, but lacks any true self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preach. Preach.
Well said.
And you obviously can't handle criticism because you have huge self-esteem issues. Did we not just say this?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, there is the simple fact that she started it off with comparing herself to the two girls that were there before. Show you immediately this is a salty bitch with very low self-esteem.
Oh yeah,
very low self-esteem, or it would not matter how loved the other women are. She would feel like she holds her own, right? But she doesn't. She doesn't feel like she what she feels like she does compared to them, and nobody else sees it, and that just angers her. Like, why don't they see how great I am?
I'm not getting that kind of attention. Maybe if you weren't such a salty heifer,
right?
As Mandy said, if her attitude was different.
It's the attitude. Everybody I've read a lot on this just because it's drama fueled, so I've been reading on it. And I read a lot of the comments. Every comment I have read from guys talking to her had been, nobody cares that you're a girl, but your attitude is shit. So obviously she has been not a fan favorite since the beginning, and this I think was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Basically, I don't think she was liked before this.
No, and I think this just completely.
But she could have been really cool. Like, I could see that she has potential to be cool. This is the worst part about it all, is that, she could have been a really cool host and, turned whatever negative things she got from people around and just said, hey, look what they said about it. Yeah, maybe it's true. All right, let's go on to the next topic. And just, kind of have a laugh at it a little bit, and kind of just, brush it off, be an adult about it. People are going to say things that are going to piss you off, and, just go on with your day. We would never have known any of these things.
No,
exactly.
We would have said, you know what? Am I as bangable as Olivia Munn? Maybe to some people, but hey. And just brushed it off and just freaking.
She shouldn't care.
But she just could. She couldn't even.
Yeah,
do
you
that.
shouldn't care. Guys say, I have guys that'll tell me that, like, Mandy, you're hot as fuck. And in the same sentence or in the same thread, I'll have guys say, Mandy, your voice is like nails on a fucking chalkboard. Shut the fuck up.
Make y'all happy.
And neither of those bother me. It's like, well, all right, well, this dude likes this dude. You can't be everybody's cup of tea, right? You gotta, but to let that bother you and affect you to the point you're having little freakouts, the girl needs some Zoloft.
She does, but you know what? You're gonna have to hold it down and give it to her like you have to give a pill to a cat. Pretty much.
I could hide it in a piece of cheese, maybe. Roll it up in a piece of cheese and give it to her.
But speaking of doubling down, okay, so this dude basically gave her the business pause, but called her out for all of that. So basically, she responds, it was a 3-minute segment where we rant about something in gaming that bothered us in a 2-hour show. Actually, that was a 3-minute rant that was clipped, put on Twitter, and G4 actually replied to it and basically said, yeah, you go ahead, Frost. We are here with you. She says, seems to me you're letting your biases sway you. Sorry.
It's hard to enlarge it.
Yeah. Let your biases sway you in what is actually a problem. What bias? To hold you accountable for your BS, to tell you how nasty you are, to tell you as a fan, I don't like being spoken to like that. I don't like being painted with a broad brush that way. That's the biggest issue. You're basically saying all you male gamers are sexist.
Yep. Exactly. And you can't, get this bitch off of there. You know what I mean? She doesn't appreciate the fans. She doesn't obviously appreciate the channel. She doesn't do any work as somebody else is writing the reviews for her. What is she good for at this point? I mean, obviously you can't even jerk off to her. Get her the fuck out of here. What are they
That's
doing?
the
Why is
worst
she
part.
here?
That's
exactly.
Because it's almost as if, you know, even if someone were doing that, you know, like to be called out for something so basic as that, it seems very wrong to me. And I think it's sending a very bad, poor message to anybody, just even as a human being. You know, the gentleman had, or I don't know if it was a man, he said, gentleman or woman had said that it was, I think he said it was crude. It was a crude statement.
He did. He said it was crude.
You know, and it kind of is, but I also think that it was kind of like a dehumanizing statement, because
I would have to agree, especially with the way that you said it.
Yeah.
Because there's a way that you say things. Like if she had said it, well, first of all, she had a better personality and said something like that in a very, very joking, self-effacing manner, like the joke is actually on me, then people could kind of, you know, let that slide. But that wasn't the case at all. And she continues here, if you think me asking people to not be sexist is toxic, then I don't think we're having a discussion in good faith. Cheers.
This has nothing to do with being a woman.
No, that's the thing with these SJW women that just absolutely infuriate me, is they will always put it back on that. And it's never, never is a strong word. 98% of the time, it has nothing to do with what your sex is. It is the fact of either you're saying something fucking stupid, or you're just an asshole in the way that you are saying it. But these women, all they do is they will take no accountability for any of their actions. Like, maybe if I hadn't called this guy like a dickless wonder, maybe he wouldn't have called me an ugly bitch or whatever. That's not what they think. They think, oh, he called me that because he's the same. No, he called you that because you called him a dickless wonder. That's why. You were a hateful bitch and you got it back. You can't have it both the way. And that's what, again, I don't understand this with the SJW women's. They do this whole equality. Well, when people start doing that and start judging you on your character instead of what's between your legs, shit, now they can't take it because they have to face up the fact you are an unlikable piece of shit. And they don't want to face that. But that's what it is. She is an unlikable piece of shit.
Yep.
Pretty much.
But yeah, she got it handed to her by this dude. He just did not back down, came back at her, basically said it doesn't matter your gender. The fact of the matter is you're just nasty, you're biased, you're coming after fans, and you don't even need to freaking do that.
Yep.
At all. So like I said, the thread is now locked, but you know, he basically said, I love how he said this, you used a shotgun when you really should have used a scalpel.
That's what it was.
An emotional spree. Yeah, exactly.
Well, first of all, let me say, she has been doing this a lot longer than I have. And I can tell you right now, if somebody says to me does bother me, there is no way in fucking hell they are ever going to know that shit bothered me. Because of what happens when you let trolls know that they've gotten under your skin and that you're thin-skinned about something. They are going to double down on that shit. That's all they're going to be saying to you. Let them find out that there's something that you are, embarrassed about. They are going to double down, and that is all you're going to hear. And she should know that, right?
Yes.
So what do you think happens when she says, y'all don't think I'm bangable? Well, all of these guys are going to come in and make sure, because she brought that up. She said that. She brought that to the table. So, and now when the guys start to do it, and trolls will, and not just guys, girls too. I say guys, but I mean just in general.
Yeah.
Right, in general.
The number of hours that
nail her.
The number of hours that some of these gamers are in contact with each other is long. Like it could be like up to 4 hours, 5 hours in some cases. So they all know each other pretty well. And, I think that this sort of like dismissal of her behavior is disturbing, because I would question if she were to show up again, what would her comments be? You know, it's almost like at any moment she can come out and blurt out these accusations. And, you know, there's no reason for the accusations to be coming out at, you know, but in her mind, she's convinced herself she's correct. Then this other person is defending himself and pretty much, you know, behaving in the right way to say exactly what he's trying to, you know, he or she, I don't know. I guess Sean is a man, is saying, I think that he said it wonderfully. And I think, you know, I share his feelings. You know, I
agreed.
As far as I'm concerned, he represents a good portion of the community's feelings about this. Because, you know, what she's saying just really, it doesn't really hold a lot of water for me.
No. And she even accuses him of like, this is just because you're sexist. And I didn't get that at all from that. No, not at all. In no way. He's calling you on your bullshit. And you needed to be called on your bullshit. And if you show up with gamers again, you better come correct. Know your shit. Because I assure you, they do. Gamers are dead serious about that shit.
Exactly.
Something I'm dead serious about is getting to some of these super chats. And speaking of, we had one before for the one, the only Cameron Pasha. Let's start there. If you remember, I threw it in the private chat so you guys can read it to him, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Tom, for that very gracious introduction. And I've got three lovely ladies here, and one that I have not seen all year. So happy New Year, Mandy Summers.
Happy New Year, love bug. Have you had fun? Have you been?
I'll have more fun when I'm hanging out in Cancun. I promise you that.
Ooh, I'm jelly.
I need to head out to Cancun. I started looking at like a Cancun vacation. It's not that expensive. It's pretty good.
No. Oh my God, I'm so jelly. You should take me with you. Let's go. I'll go with you.
Well, you and your husband and various other people.
We'll all go and we'll get
a big party. Yeah.
Big party.
I'll wave as the plane flies over Florida.
That's code for bring some women for him.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go to Nina's house and eat all her food.
There you go. That's a plan.
She's gonna have some good Persian food there.
I'm sure.
She's in Mexico. She can take you get some authentic Mexican food for.
We need Mexican Persian, like, you know, nouveau mix thing, whatever.
But yeah, we had a question for you earlier, Cameron.
Yes, from Just Some Other Guy for 1999. Thank you. Let's see. He says, "Greetings, ladies. Tom, I acknowledge your existence. Question for Kamran if he shows up, and of course you are here. I'm a patron of yours, but do you remember my username? Hint, it's a Star Wars character. There's another $20 if he gets it right."
You know, I have 196 members as of today.
Oh my gosh.
Of which about 185 of them have Star Wars names. So this is going to be fun.
Oh man, maybe that's why
this
is
$20.
So I don't a wild shot in the dark.
All right, okay. Because I'm not seeing the super chat. What was the name of the gentleman who sent the super chat?
Just some other guy.
Just some other guy.
Just some other guy. He didn't say I can't cheat. So let me see if just some other guys on my. Let me see if there's a way to cheat that out. I mean, I just don't want to deny. I don't want to.
See if I can go back to the original super chat. You at least can see his icon, maybe. But
yeah, because of the icon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've talked. But again, you know, people, and he may be watching right now. One of my beloved. Oh, just some other guy. Yes. Okay.
Oh yes, he had that unusual icon. Remember, it was from some show. When we were doing a show, he said it was from a specific
like a video game or whatever.
Video game. That's right.
Like a lawyer or
lawyer,
defender, something.
Yeah,
it was a special video game.
Yeah. So please forgive me. Please forgive me because I don't think I'm able to make that connection. If you're watching right now, like I said, when I had 5 subscribers, it was a lot easier. Now that it's all the ladies I know, as Tom knows very well, once you start approaching in the hundreds and more, then you don't remember every single interaction. I actually had that incident where I made a joke actually on Midnight's Edge, about something, and one of my patrons said, "I already answered that question for you. Should I be insulted? You don't remember?" I was like, "Yeah, I think you might have sent me an email 6 months ago. I was just didn't remember it, right?" And so it is what it is. But so forgive me. I don't think we get another $20 out of it unless he just wants to be generous. I would suggest just some other guy that you graciously give another $20 because you've got 3 incredibly beautiful women here. And I think they shouldn't be denied a super chat because of my faulty memory.
I'm going with Boba Fett.
I got a few people named Boba Fett in my Patreon.
There you go. See, the odds are good.
Angry Boba Fett, sad Boba Fett, and like depressed Rancor. They're all there.
Let's say depressed Rancor. I like that.
I'd buy that toy. Depressed Rancor. I'd buy that.
I like it.
That's funny. Mandy, do you want to get Willie Woodward's member?
I sure will. Willie Woodward, who has been a member for 8 months. Wow, thank you for sticking it out with us, dude. Yeah. Let's see. Love listening to you ladies and Seer of Steel Cameron. Would love to live stream with you ladies sometimes, but you'd eat me alive. Folks, check out what these ladies and Cameron are putting out. It's good. Oh,
I wouldn't eat you alive.
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't even bite hard.
No.
Just nips. They love nips.
I love that qualifier Mandy put in there.
Well, Willie, you're always a gracious person. And I know he's been active in my Patreon, and I've he's been a consulting client in the past, and he's a really good guy. So.
Indeed, and he's also our wrench for tonight.
Oh, wonderful!
And then
so here, Chris Catman's got
Chris
something.
Catman. That one's for you.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris Catman for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris Catman. I'm sorry if this is just off topic. Tom, I'm glad you said that you didn't like the Snyder Cut. I thought I was the only one.
Well, here's the trick to that: you just ignore when people come after you. But I know what you mean. It's one of those things. Yeah.
It's a lot of there's a lot of emotion around that cut. I know I haven't seen it because I haven't bothered to get HBO Max, and to be honest, I just am not a Snyder fan in any version of it.
That's kind of my issue with it.
Yeah. And so, but our good friend, our good friend Abu Nas is a passionate follower.
Yes.
I just steer the conversation away from
I'm
that.
just glad that people got what they wanted. But yeah, Chris, I've never been a fan of the Snyderverse. Man of Steel was a huge letdown for me after years of waiting for it.
I didn't either.
I hated it. I really did.
I was so hyped up because I was like, I loved Watchmen. I'm like, great, Zack Snyder, Superman, awesome. Finally got to see it, and it was a disappointment. And I'm like, okay, give him another shot. Batman v Superman. I was even more disappointed.
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't either.
So, like,
forgive me, brother. I didn't like it either.
But at the same time, I've also said that I might enjoy a theatrical cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League, because that was my other issue, is that it's just 3 hours too long.
And too much slow-mo was in it too. I just
What slow-mo? There's a lot. I guess in sort of his visual style, like he used that in 300.
I mean, it was cool in 300. He used it very well in 300.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff that he added to it and was different, but there was somebody who went through the movie and they showed like a lot of scenes that were no different than the Joss Whedon cut. The only difference was the Joss Whedon cut got to the point much quicker. Like, it was literally like 10 more establishing shots taking twice as long and all this other business. So it's like, yeah, that kind of stuff it could definitely do without.
Joss has a lot of attractive fans to entertain. He doesn't have time for establishing shots. He's got to rush. He's got to get to business.
He had one job: get that thing down to 2 hours, right? Like, so I'm not gonna get into that whole thing, but I understand where you're coming from there. But we'll get past that so we can get into these other ones here. Thank you for that, though, Chris. I appreciate the super chat.
I don't know whose turn it is.
I think
it was Mandy who read the last one, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I think I read the last.
Oh, no, you did. So it'd be yours, Lorena.
Okay. Mr. Mystery for $1.99. Thank you so much for that super chat, my dear. Raina, she doesn't want anyone coming at her. I'm just gonna let that hang out there. That's I can't touch.
It certainly is a double entendre.
Very, very much so.
Okay.
That's true. She doesn't want that. She doesn't like that at all.
Politicians like to say, no comment.
Let's see here.
Well, I think a politician's response. I came in just after you ladies have been talking about that continuing drama around this, I'm not bangable person, right? And
yes.
I'm like, and I think the best response to this kind of thing is own your bangability. Be like a certain congressperson, say, everyone wants to bang me. Everyone wants to bang me. All my critics want to bang me. Just own it.
Mm-hmm. If you believe it, you can make other people believe it too.
Yeah.
The power of the mind is quite
Yeah.
incredible like that.
Make people buy what you're selling.
Exactly. Sell
Uh-huh.
it, girl. She's not though. She ain't selling nothing.
Mm-mm.
But bad
We're
attitude.
not a political channel.
Salt.
My mouth shut.
That's it. Let's see here. Chris Catman for $5. Thank you so much, hon. My lovely ladies, and I missed all. Mandy, Lorena, and our hi Tom. Hey Chris.
Oh, missed you too. Seeing ya.
Wow, another super chat from Chris Catman for $5. Thank you, Chris Catman. Oh God. 4G woman. I never watched the channel, but after this lady's rant, I will not be watching it.
And I think that is going to be the biggest thing with them as they are trying to regrow, rebrand. This was the stupidest business decision you could have ever made while trying to get back on your feet with your channel, because there are going to be a lot more people that are going to be like that are like, oh, I didn't know what it was before and I ain't looking now. So
it just feels like it's faulty hot tub time machine where they went back to 2016 and it's just the time machine didn't work right, because that's what it feels like, faulty hot tub time machine.
It does though. It's crazy.
Nice.
Okay, Merlin's id.
Let's see. Is that me?
Yes.
Me. Okay, Merlin's id for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear. Speaking as a red-blooded male, I truly respect your insights on entertainment, even when I disagree with you. I'd still hit it like Fonzie's jukebox. You know what? You do you.
I think that one was for Tom, right? That one was
you do you, my dear.
How you doing?
I love that. Hit it like Fonzie's jukebox.
I have never
love
heard
that.
before.
What I love is that Henry Winkler played Fonzie. It's like 5'2". He's shorter than me, and I'm a short guy, right? I once just walking down the street in Manhattan.
Not only that, he was a fucking nerd.
I'm sorry?
He's a huge nerd on top of it.
Okay, so yeah. So I just love this 5'2" little guy who's
you know who he based the Fonzie on? Do you guys know who he stole the Fonzie from?
No.
Elvis?
No, he was friends with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
no,
really?
The Fonz is Sylvester Stallone. Listen to him.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that.
He said that's where he got inspiration for the Fonz was from Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like all that. Like
I can
buy it.
I can totally say that. Yeah, crazy.
Awesome. He stole that whole thing from him. Anyway, yeah, I like that though.
Wow.
Hit it like Fonzie.
I love that. I love that. I'm gonna use that.
I just love that he was snapping fingers and 7 girls would appear.
Did we get this one from Tennille on screen here?
No, I think that's me, Andy.
Yeah, Tennille89 for $5. Thank you, hon. Welcome back, Mandy. Thank you. Didn't waste any time tearing G4's resident meth head to shreds there. Off to a good start. That's what I do.
I've been waiting for that. I'm like, I can't wait for Mandy to put her foot in
no, because she makes all of us females look bad. And when you go out there and you play this victim, women are not victims unless we're being victim. I mean, we're not victims. We're capable. And she's not. But most of us are not that thin-skinned. And to act like this is a problem within comics or gaming, you guys are not the fucking problem. And I'm so tired of these woke, crazy people trying to convince every man that he is wrong or in some way a problem by being a man. It's ridiculous. And I don't want you guys buying into that bullshit. So I'm going to call it.
Love you guys.
Yes, it is your right to look at hot women.
Exactly.
Or even women you consider to be hot when others may not. You know,
there's a market for everything. There's a market for I'm not bangable girl. And there's people, men and women that like that look. I will personally think the neck tattoo don't work for me. Period. Personally, I think neck tattoo is self-victimization. When you put a neck tattoo on anything above your collarbone as a tattoo is self-victimization, male or female. It doesn't work unless you're Chakotay.
Yeah.
But no, like Cameron said, there is a market. She's a girl. There is a market for it. There's even guys that would like to listen to her like shit talk them. They would love nothing more than to have that girl sitting there telling them how crappy
There
they
are
are.
powerful Hollywood executives that would pay her lots of money to like walk all over them when they're
Exactly.
right? Exactly the way she is.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a market for everything.
I'm sorry, I don't know whose turn it is.
No, I think it's mine. And to Neil 89 for another super chat, $10 to Neil. Thank you so much for your generous super chats tonight. You asked about Comcast. My stepmom is executive vice president of NBC's live events. From what she said, in passing, they're in the process of uprooting the woke, like pulling teeth, but they're making progress. She says, thanks so much to Neil 89.
That feels like that feels like a lot of the industry. There's a few places I think that are too badly internally damaged, like CBS. They don't know where they are. I think they're on a sinking raft in the middle of nowhere. They don't even think about woke. They don't even know what's happening to them. But most places are like, okay, we gotta make money now. It's been too hard.
Yeah. Now, and like we were saying earlier, I think everybody here can say we feel that shift. We're not there yet, but compared to where we were, like, say last year at this point, things are looking up. I mean, I'm a little bit more
There's
optimistic.
at least something competing. There's at least something competing with the woke narrative.
Yes, exactly.
There's now at least a battle. You can go watch bad movies still, but there's at least some that are trying to make good movies.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
And so this whacking off. That's
I'm gonna get this member chat, and then I'll let Mandy get.
I bet you
are
will.
clever
Look at
as fuck.
Sneaky.
Thank you. E. Clay Thomason, thank you so much for being a channel member for 6 months as an edgelord. I may have missed it, but did Mandy ever watch Die Hard?
I did. I watched it. I did. It is totally a Christmas movie. I love it.
Thank you.
Right.
I actually did. I watched it right.
Have a few laughs.
I watched it a few days, like right there at Christmas time. I watched because I wanted to wait until Christmas because everybody was saying it was a Christmas movie. But I feel like you need to watch it originally during because that's when it came out originally, right? In the theaters, it was around November, December or so.
It came out in the summer, but don't tell.
Did it really?
Yeah, I didn't have the heart to say anything. Girl.
I figured it came out during like Christmas.
So did Gremlins, though, but nobody cares.
But you know what, Mandy?
It's a Christmas movie.
You know what, Mandy? The Cleveland Show parody episode of Die Hard did come out for Christmas, so you got to watch that next.
Okay. Cleveland Show did a Die Hard.
Cleveland Show did a Die Hard parody, and it's freaking hilarious. I love it.
I'm writing it down. Okay, is it? Oh yeah, this is me.
Yay.
Let's see. A Dark King for $5 Australian. Thank you so much. Whacking off a sacred ritual. Time to start the cult of toxic film. Everybody, time to build a temple and pray. Tom can be the doorman.
I ain't cleaning nothing up, though. Nope. Not happening.
So I see that Tantra continues to have its followers in 2022. It's good to know.
Yes.
I'm not cleaning up shit.
Well, if you do Tantra properly, there's no, let's just say there's no liquid results of Tantra if you do it properly.
That's true.
That's pointless.
Yeah, I read that.
And now it's supposed to build, make it like a million times better.
A dry orgasm.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's going to be amazing because you didn't come forever. Duh. You give yourself blue balls long enough, of course it's going to feel like amazing.
My mom's in the other room, by the way. It's all
or
good.
if you just
I'm glad she heard that.
There are no more fluids left in your body. Eventually, nothing will come out. That's another approach.
I should get headphones.
That was an interesting read when I did that. Let me tell you.
My mom doesn't even like issues of Maxim lying around my place. Like that.
Oh man!
She finds it really very, very inappropriate, like Maxim, whatever.
Can she hear you? Can she hear us?
No, she's in the other room.
Oh, all right.
I hope not. I sincerely apologize to Cameron's mother.
She doesn't know any idea whatever. She has no idea what's going on. She wouldn't get the references. We're all good. She's still living in Pakistan 1955, so we're all good. Everything is good. Now, this is when you take care of your mom. That's part of the amusement of and you're doing YouTube. It's the amusement of it.
Well, there's some other guy I think shares a feeling we all do here.
Yes. Just some other guy for a $199 super chat. Missed you, Mandy. Like, what?
I missed you too, Lubbock. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. You have no idea. Bella, leave my sandwich alone.
Oh, she finally got a sandwich.
Mandy, check your email. I know you're not a good answer of email, but I sent you an email to follow up on our last conversation.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I've had COVID this past week. No. I ain't done shit. I'm just now getting back to streaming again.
Okay.
Because I was dying. I will check it tonight, sir. Wait, Bella, I'm gonna.
We're gonna do a few more of these, and then I know we got some for Cameron coming up as well here. But I know you guys had another topic to get to as well. So
yeah, and Lorena, you got the thing I sent you, right? Because I want to talk about it.
Yes, I do. I've got it ready.
It's really troubling, that revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Oliver clothes off here.
Let's see. Oliver clothes off for $2. It took me weeks to figure out what that really was.
It's like that guy that shows up, Dixon Cider, right?
Yeah, I was like Oliver Klosov for tea. I'm like,
if we can't have James Bond fun names anymore.
No,
I know.
In the cats, right?
Thoughts about Sessler? That is one vile dude. Well, according to Sessler from Adam Sessler, I believe, right?
That's
yeah. According to him, since I'm a Republican, I'm a racist, and I deserve to die, and I drink my own piss.
Yeah. No, he is. He's just a horrible human. He's just like you said. He's vile.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone is cursing their own family members, you're really out of
That's
it.
really
You're right.
vile.
I mean,
over politics,
no.
It's something that needs to change in our society, and people will do what they want to do. But I encourage anybody who wants to do something like that, just stop and don't curse out your family members. And
exactly.
No,
it's about like me and Brianna Wu getting into it this last weekend, and then her fucking ass go running with her fucking tail between her legs and blocking me.
What?
Oh, I can't get into the main thing about what it's about. Let's just say that she said some pretty vile shit about Meatloaf dying. And I went after her ass, and she got just cremated. Mm-hmm. And needless to say, like, it has to do with this political bullshit. And basically when she went running is when I basically said something to her along the lines like, maybe start finding some common ground with people instead of trying to make enemies constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
And, have some respect and all that kind of shit kind of thing. And then, yeah. But anyhow, moving.
So Sean the Movie Man 71 for $5. Thank you so much, hon. Mandy Summers, why are you giving me my childhood crush 1970s bionic woman, Jamie Summers? Do I look like her? That's awesome.
Well, I worked on Bionic Woman, the remake, and I kept pushing, we gotta cast Lindsay Wagner in something because she was my childhood crush in the 70s, right? And I was like, I gotta cast Lindsay Wagner. And then the show didn't work out. We never got a chance. But it's like when I was working on Roswell, there was a moment where Cheryl Ladd, auditioned for something. Cheryl Ladd from Charlie's Angels. Like Cheryl Ladd, who made me realize how much I loved girls when I was 7 years old. Like, I never went to the girls' Ricky Face, and that's Cheryl Ladd's credit. And she's, I'm getting this, like, her agent submits this tape. I was like, we got to cast Cheryl Ladd. We got to cast Cheryl Ladd. And we cast her. She was perfectly good actress, but I was like, we got to cast Cheryl Ladd.
Oh. Whatever. I did not know that you had done that at all. Like, that's awesome. Bionic Woman. Yeah, I didn't know that you were working on that. That's cool.
Yeah, I was a producer on that, and let's just say it didn't work. But we had the lovely Katie from Battlestar Galactica who played the evil Bionic Woman on the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
It was a good. It wasn't a good show, but we had fun. Whatever.
Right. Well,
it's all right.
It's all right. Here we go.
This one's for you, my dear.
Yes, Sean the Movie Man 71 for another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Sean the Movie Man 71. Also, Lorena Creole, beauty and grace personified.
Oh, sweet.
Made me blush.
I know. Blush.
The epitome of beauty. I love you, Sean the Movie Man. Also, Tom is the man.
How you doing?
Love you guys and love the channel.
Then he has a follow-up here right afterwards.
Oh.
Let's see, Sean the Movie Man 71 for $2. Thank you. Mandy Summers, hotness personified. I was saying sorry.
Oh.
You know, we're gonna discover Sean the Movie Man is actually the pen name for I'm Not Bangable Chick. She's in the chat.
Oh, dang.
She really wants her. It makes sense and checks out, I'll tell you.
Guys. Oh my God.
She's an M&M in comfortable shoes, I hear. So.
That's true. Let's see, Melvin Belliard for $20. Thank you so much. I'm so generous. Good evening, ladies of Toxic Film. Hi, Tom. The part that I don't get is she completely dismisses the criticisms leveled at her. She has one talking point and she's sticking to it. By the way, missed you, Mandy, on here. Glad you're back. Oh, thank you, love that. But she does. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because she doesn't have any. There's no argument you can say for being shitty to people that don't deserve it. There's nothing you can say that'll make treating strangers who have done nothing but support you and your channel for no reason whatsoever. There's no excuse she can give. So she'll just throw shit at the wall, whatever sticks.
Exactly.
And I think the idea behind this, I really do think the idea behind this was any publicity is good publicity.
Good.
And I don't think that's the way it's played out here. I don't think this is going to be that way for these guys.
No, I don't think so.
No, it's just been a hot mess. You want to get this next one?
Yes, Professor Gray for a $2 super chat. Thank you, Professor Gray. Her game reviews all seem very corporate PR.
It's because they are.
Yeah.
Got a team of writers.
Yeah, she has to write. She's not even playing them. She has writers that play the games and then write it up for her.
Look, I'm probably one of the worst game players in the world, and she's probably worse than I am.
Probably.
Like, if you watch me play Cobra Kai for 12 hours.
I've seen you play Cobra Kai. You're not bad, though. You're not horrible.
It took me forever to get
Do you get to play Johnny? And
you get to pick
everybody.
your dojo.
I mean,
it's
you got it.
awesome.
Yeah, like there's two sides. You pick your dojo, and then you collect each person along the way, and you eventually get like Johnny and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay,
that sounds cool.
All right. Okay.
It's very cool.
It's very much like the old school Ninja Turtles beat 'em up kind of side scroll.
Okay. That was a fun game. Shoot.
We got Slade Wilson next here, and then we'll get into the next story here. But we got the ones for Cameron coming up here, so I figure we might as well try and grab those.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Is it me?
Risque chat time. Here we go. Okay.
Yes, it's you, my dear.
Oh, okay. Slade Wilson for $5. Thank you so much, hon. Mandy Summers for Secretary of Defense. Stand on the Ukraine border, flash your bits. The entire Russian army would stand down. Yeah, I like that. That's
why is that woman flashing her gibbles and bits? I don't know, but I'm mesmerized.
Ain't it cold there though?
Very.
Wait, Mandy, can you do Flo from Alice? Kiss My Grits. You know how to do that? Remember Kiss My Grits?
I don't know how she said. I don't know how she
remember. There was a team called Alice.
Kiss My Grits.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We need Christy for that one. Yeah.
That was Christy's line.
It was pretty close though. She's got that southern accent. That's what makes it work. But yeah, let's move on then and get back to the ones for Cameron here after the next bit here. I'm gonna head to the back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to share this article because when Cameron sent it, It blew my mind, because if you guys remember from the investor event that happened, where they had with Lucasfilm, and Kathleen Kennedy was standing up there with all the other Star Wars things going on, she made it a point to talk about this diverse IP that was non-Star Wars related, that Lucasfilm was proud to be able to work on. And apparently it's gotten shoved to the side. Not only shoved to the side, but now another studio is working on it. And Commer, you have some interesting insight to this, because basically Kathleen Kennedy pretty much held up any progress on this.
Well, this was announced, or at least about a week and a half ago, maybe about a week ago, this was announced in the trades that this project, this young adult novel or series of novels, starting with Children of Blood and Bone, that had been optioned by Lucasfilm very prominently about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more longer than that they were going to make this project. It's the author is West African, and while it's, I think it's a fantasy novel, it's based on West African myths. My spiritual teachers are in West Africa. I've been there. I've been to Senegal multiple times, so I know there's incredibly rich stories from that culture that are easily adapted to entertaining movies that I think are universal. And so I was like, all right, this sounds like a good idea. But, Ms. Kennedy had made a big deal. She announced it, not only had been announced, they then, I think, as Lorena was saying, she did on Investors Day, she did a special presentation on the stage about how proud she was of this project, right? And whenever I've heard of this project, I'm not a racist, alert goes off, right? Whenever, everyone's like, we are here, we're so proud to be promoting this West African people of color, BIPOC. So I was like, all right, here we go. All right. So, so having worked with people like this who talk about how proud they are to be promoting diverse stories, it always ends one way. They always sabotage the project and sabotage the diverse people involved in the project because they're fundamentally racist, right? They don't actually care about this. I don't believe Miss Kennedy ever read this book, but it's a black woman on the cover, so I got to do it, right? So we didn't know what had happened. This project, there had been an announcement about 10 days ago that this project mysteriously ended up now at Paramount after having been developed at Lucasfilm for over 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. And there was allegedly in a bidding war, multiple companies, of which Lucasfilm was not one of them. So I went on Valiant Renegade. I think I went on Midnight's Edge with my theories as to what could have happened here. And then just over the weekend, Hollywood Reporter put out their version of events of what happened. And what's interesting, and I sent this to Lorena, is because this reporter claims, based on their sources, that what happened is that the author, Tomi Adeyemi, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, the author was at loggerheads with Lucasfilm because she wanted a chance to write the script, which, I, having been an author myself, not every author, in fact, most novelists can't really write screenplays. It's a different format. But in a situation like this, where it's high profile, it's politically charged, in general, the industry standard is let the author have one shot at it. We'll let them write a script. It'll probably not work. And then we'll say, thank you so much. And we'll hand it over to a professional screenwriter to rewrite it so we can film it. And that's the politically savvy thing to do here. But apparently, according to this Hollywood Reporter article, they refused, obviously for several years, to let Ms. Adeyemi be involved with adapting her project. They just want to get the rights from her and give it to someone else, probably one of Ms. Kennedy's proteges, like a Leslie Headland type, right? And then apparently Ms. Adeyemi got angry with it and said, I'm not going to re-up this option. And she pulled the project, and then it was quietly sold off to Paramount. Now, that I've experienced that kind of stuff before. I've seen that kind of stuff happen on shows where this is an embarrassing thing. It normally never leaks out. So we can talk about why this leaked out and why Hollywood Reporter, which has at least shown a lot of favor towards Bob Chapek in the past year, would be the one that releases, because this is clearly someone inside Disney, whether in Lucasfilm or another part of Disney, is spilling the beans as to what happened here. And it's unfavorable for Kathleen Kennedy. It makes her look bad to the industry, because the industry knows that if you're going to make a big deal about, I'm going to support a West African story, at least give the author a courtesy of one draft. To not even give her that shows in my opinion, this is just my opinion as a person of color in the industry, it shows profound racism. The fact that you would not even give her one draft that she could fail at, and maybe she might succeed, but you don't even want to give her the chance to show that she could actually adapt her own book. That's really horrifying. especially after you made such a big deal about people of color and we're going to tell the story and authentically. Well, you got this author who's on a West African who wants to at least chance to prove that she can make the movie version of it. You're not going to give her a shot. And then just, and then if you'd done that and the script doesn't work, she would have accepted it. And then, they would have rewritten it. That's how it all normally works. As long as the person felt that they were heard as a human being, they'll let it go. Now, according to this article, Paramount has guaranteed Miss Adeyemi the script.
Yes.
I mean,
well,
this is bad PR.
There's two things here.
Please.
There's also, okay, the whole thing going into turnaround that's brought up in here that I think has much more going on than we're really kind of seeing on the surface. If you go below this, the whole thing, like, she basically, the way this makes it sound is she was involved in this, and fine, because the first part is this really is kind of shitty on their part, because this could have been another new franchise under Lucasfilm's belt. That's one big loss. Secondly, though, this makes it sound like Kathleen Kennedy lost interest in this when Star Wars started becoming popular again with The Mandalorian. And notice how Rick Famuyiwa, who was working on Blood and Bone, went over to The Mandalorian.
That's very perceptive, Tom. I think you've hit a very interesting issue there, right there, because she literally just said her little pet project isn't that pet to me the moment I see cash here.
Yeah, the moment things started looking good on the back on the other side, that she just walked away from because she done fucked it all up. And then I think that kind of answers the question as to why things started going downhill again right quickly, especially with Book of Boba Fett in a lot of people's opinions. I think it's starting to show. And again, we got more of the Acolyte coming, and she's heavy duty into Obi-Wan. That Andor series that's been just sitting there doing nothing for 2 years now, another one of her projects. So again, I feel like that's possibly what happened is, like you said, they were button heads this whole time. And then as soon as The Mandalorian started getting popularity, well, she just completely shifted gears.
I think that there's a lot of truth to what you're saying there, Tom. And I also think that the fact that she had so little commitment, so at the moment something else got a shiny new bauble appeared to her, she just jumped ship on something she made such a big PR thing about, as someone who talks a lot about how she's going to help minorities. If we remember, there was a African-American woman there that was executive at Lucasfilm, who was feeded first in the New York Times and everywhere else as, look at how Lucasfilms care so much about minorities. They have a black woman as a development exec. And then the moment things didn't look that good after The Last Jedi, she was let go. And that was done very quietly, and her just images were taken down off of Lucasfilm. There was no discussion of it. So I think, the idea that Ms. Kennedy is the champion of minorities is certainly an image she's put out there. I think she's got other priorities on her plate.
And that's how I see it, because I remember from that investor event how much she made a big deal that she was going to adapt this book.
Carrie Hart is who you're talking about. Carrie Hart.
Right, okay. This book into a movie. And she made a very, very big deal about it and talked so much about Lucasfilm investing in diversity projects. So what this tells me is it's just diversity in name only. You wanted to do it just to make yourself look good. And now when everything else is like, okay, I'm running after Star Wars, forget this project over here. And we didn't really mean it. Yeah, you can't write it. And how much of a professional insult is that? You're the one who wrote the book. You have this woman, and I'm just paraphrasing here, telling you how great this project is. She's all about diversity and thinks that your book is great and that you're a great writer. And you're thinking, I'm going to get the chance to write the screenplay to bring my words to film. That is just an intense, a great accolade to be able to do. To not even be given the chance to do that, to give the professional courtesy to do that, that's a slap in the face.
It is a slap in the face. If you all remember that fun BDSM movie, since we've had some BDSM themed chats, was it Grey? Was it the
50 Shades?
50 Shades of Grey. So the author of 50 Shades of Grey, who let's just say may not be the greatest literary figure of all time, demanded to write the script, and they knew where their bread was buttered. They're like, yeah, this book kind of sucks, and she probably is going to do a terrible job on the script, but it doesn't matter. Everyone who read the book didn't care that it sucked. They're going to watch this movie anyway. They gave it to her. They let her write the script because they
And it showed.
not let her do it.
Well, something that I would be concerned about, and would be the fact that it is based on African folklore and folk tales. And I would be concerned that if somebody read, the original book, and since it's a, sort of an adaptation of these folk tales, that their adaptation of the book would result in interpretations that just don't make any sense in that context. So, it kind of makes sense for her to go ahead and do that initial screenplay. And then
she'll lock in the parameters. Yeah.
Lock in the parameters. And then after she locks in the parameters, they can always say, okay, we're going to need somebody to adapt the screenplay. We're going to need something or amend it or change it somehow.
Or dialogue pass, or maybe we need someone to fix that action scene.
Right.
That's
but I certainly
the normal process.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to go ahead and put in something in there that doesn't make sense culturally or is accurate to the story. You don't want to get into that area because, then it's not even the story she's telling anymore.
Yeah. And to be honest, as someone, like I said, who has connections to West African culture, I'm Pakistani and I have connections to West African culture. There are not that many successful West African screenwriters that I am familiar with. I'm sure there's at least a couple that who I just don't know, but they should have at least given her a shot so that she could establish those parameters so that, when rich white guy comes in, he'll at least know what don't alter that. That's obviously important from the book. Right.
And what's kind of interesting too, is just how interesting the story sounds, even just from the title. This story seems like it has a lot of prominence and weight to it. And I would hate for someone else to get the story and also kind of dumb it down, aside from not getting the point of the story, to have someone else make an attempt at writing it and kind of dumbing it down and not, that would also be, terrible. So I think this might be very good for her in a sense, because if anything, she's preserved, the most important part of the story, which would just be the main intent of what the story is.
Well, the interesting thing about West Africa, I haven't read this book yet, but from reading the synopses and the articles about it, is this is based on the myths of magic in that culture. And West Africa is a living magic culture. I've seen it. Our concepts of voodoo, voodoo, Santeria, these are all traditions. All of them come out of West Africa.
Yeah.
Right? They then melted in the Caribbean with Catholicism, other traditions. But when I went to meet my Sufi masters in Senegal, they told me, hey, you want to be careful of that guy over there. He practices old school predecessor voodoo, right? Old school stuff. He's like, he does the magic in the cemetery. You don't want to necessarily go with that, right?
Right.
So that's a living part of their culture today. Magic, necromancy, possessions. It's a living thing today. And so people that don't understand, this is not mythical to the people of West Africa. Today I've been there and people are doing magic rituals in front of me.
It is real.
It's real. And it's part of their sense of the universe. And from what I saw, it seems to be an accurate sense of the universe. There's stuff going on we don't understand. And a lot of people in Hollywood wouldn't get that this is inspired by a world in which magic is just as real as medicine is to us.
Right. Honestly, it's probably it's sad that that's how it happened, but at least now Kathleen Kennedy can't get her grubby little hands on this. And,
because this project would have never moved forward with it.
No, it would have sat still. And y'all, just to let y'all know, I just cone-headed that sub like nobody's business. I just cleared a foot long and a bag of chips in that little bit of time. It was impressive.
30 seconds you were gone?
That little bit I was gone. I ate a foot long sub and a bag of chips.
That's awesome.
I saved my cookie though. I got a cookie.
Oh, there you go.
Well, did you have some more to go with this, Lorena? Because otherwise I have 2 scoops to run. One you guys know about. The other one is kind of newer.
Wow.
No, go right ahead.
Let's go.
Pretty much.
Well, it's kind of related to this. Now, again, take this one with a huge fucking grain of salt, but Cameron's gonna love this. Heard a rumor that Jon Favreau is going to be announced as a creative director, not just of Lucasfilm, but over other things, and kind of like a John Lasseter role was back in the day. And to support that rumor, Mikey Sutton was saying that something about KK is not happy about a recent move that happened. So that could be it. That's the one thing I have that is very speculative right now, very heavy rumor. I don't know what exactly it means, other than if we hear about this in the next few weeks, that means that Favreau might be getting some more power. Because right now, Filoni is executive creative director at Lucasfilm.
Of Lucasfilm itself.
Yes, of Lucasfilm. And Favreau does not have a title like that yet, officially, that I know of. I think he's
but
just
this rumor, Tom, is that he's getting something overarching beyond
Yes.
perhaps Lucasfilm, like in Disney throughout, right? Yeah, like
That's what it kind of sounds like. Again, take it with a huge grain of salt, but it was sold to me, or told to me, however you want to put it, as basically the way Lasseter was stretched when they brought Pixar in, and he oversaw, like Lorena knows what I'm talking about, probably,
Yeah.
where he oversaw Pixar and Disney animation at the same time.
Yeah, he had both.
Well, you've told me that Mikey Sutton is a very reliable source in the past, right? And I trust your judgment on that.
Generally, yeah, he's the guy who came out with the Spider-Man news first, the Michael Keaton news, and a few other things that have panned out. So, yeah.
Well, let's play out the hypothetical. If this is hypothetically true, let's say that Mr. Favreau has been given sort of a supervisory creative input over not just Lucasfilm, but the rest of Disney. Certainly, I think it's plausible considering what a bad creative shape the entire company is in right now. That if I were a new regime, which is what's coming in now, I'd be like, this guy seems to know what he's doing, right? Let's get his advice on Marvel and Pixar and everything else, because we're kind of shaky on everything. And if that is indeed true, and Ms. Kennedy is, still very much a player in the dynamic, that certainly would be insulting to her, because this guy worked for her. Now, if the dynamic as you're describing, Tom, it happens, I don't know that she would work for him, but she'd have to at least report to him, which is
possibly. And the only reason I believe this right now is just because Favreau has done stuff for the company outside of Lucasfilm, right? Like Lion King being one of the more recent big ones.
Well, it fits one thing that I said a long time ago, Tom, which is that a friend of mine had said to me, 2 years ago, I haven't asked him about this, right? But I should probably reach out and ask him about this. But a friend of mine who is close with Favreau, is on his crew, right? Said to me that not only was John unhappy as a fan watching what was happening with Star Wars, like the Last Jedi and all this stuff. He's like, what is this stuff? He claimed to me that John had reached out of his own accord to executives at Disney in the Iger regime saying, can I help you guys with this? That it wasn't just people thinking John could bring in. He's like, I actually have some ideas that might be helpful. I think you guys are on the wrong track. If he is indeed the kind of person that takes that kind of initiative and showed that kind of initiative and helped at least fix some of the problems with Mandalorian, then I would certainly think executives would be like, this guy's on the ball, and he's a go-getter. Maybe we should give him some more responsibility. If that's true.
And honestly, they need somebody to start overseeing the Fox side of things. They really do. Like, they need somebody to get in there and say, look, we need to start concentrating on getting some adult pictures out through Fox. And he could be another, that this has nothing to do with it. But like, if they're going to extend his creative control, that's one thing I think they should do, is give him, and like, here, come up with 2 or 3 pictures a year for Fox that are adult, R-rated, PG-13, R-rated fare.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's certainly another thing to give us hope that there is another arm to this situation. It's not just a bunch of woke, I'm not bangable enough weirdos running everything. There is something else that sounds like it's happening and has been happening for a while. That gives us hope for the future.
Exactly. And I'm more hopeful now than I was, 6 months ago. And every day I'll see a new article that gives me a little bit more hope that things are starting to kind of upturn, I guess. So I don't know. I feel like it's only going to get better. So
it's slow going. That's
it takes for
good news if it pans out, because Disney does, it is missing somebody, like a John Lasseter. Who's keeping, tight creative, control over what's going on. So Favreau's given that type of role, that does make me very hopeful. So I do hope that pans out. Well, I really do, because Kathleen Kennedy is not a creative.
No, she needs to stick to getting coffee.
Yeah,
that's what she was.
And funding movies.
That's what.
She's good to talking to investors. All that stuff. the thing is, people have said for some time, and I think they've said it on Midnight's Edge and, in the chat and other places, will Favreau be declared the head of Lucasfilm? And I've often said, I don't think he wants the job. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics and a lot of corporate blah, blah that comes with being a studio head, right? He just wants to make movies and tell stories. So this kind of position, if he really does have it, fits his characters. Like, oh, I can come up with some cool ideas.
Well, it already sounds like he's kind of being a creative director of sorts over Boba Fett because he's not even there. We've been hearing from recent reports that he hasn't even been on the set that much. He's been dictating notes to Rodriguez while he's off jet set in other places.
Which we can see there's a loss that can come with that. I mean, I do hope that in the process, if he's got this role, we don't see that the end result is some of the places he should be keeping his eye on start faltering. It seems to have happened on Boba Fett. Maybe that's a warning for him that he saw that the audience.
Well, there is a double-edged sword to that because Lasseter, we had that problem. There's that famous picture I use all the time in videos where he's being pulled from both ends, right? And that did become a problem. You had the spillover where Disney animation got better, but Pixar got worse because Lasseter was being spread too far over. But then you also had the problem of too many people thinking a lot of those Disney movies at that time were Pixar movies because they got John Lasseter all over them. Well, that's why, like Wreck-It Ralph being a prime example, most people don't realize that that's just a Disney movie, not a Pixar movie.
It feels like
a Pixar movie.
It feels like a Pixar movie, except it didn't. Okay, I cried a little bit at the end of that one, but Pixar has a really bad track record of sucking me into a movie and then making me really, really sad.
Look at the sequel compared to the original. Like that second Wreck-It Ralph, you can tell the absence of Lasseter big time.
That was freaking awful.
It wasn't good.
Well, Inside Out, when I saw Inside Out in the theater, when it was all over and the lights came on, I mean, I was a basket case. I was like bawling with tears.
I was depressed.
I was like, everybody around me, all the adults were crying and the kids
were crying.
Yeah.
Kids couldn't figure out. It's like, I lost my childhood and I get to watch that play out in front of me.
Yeah, no, that was horrible. I was depressed for like 3 days after watching that movie.
An imaginary friend disappeared. I was like,
I know.
No, I can't take this.
And she's having to move again, and I couldn't. That was sad.
Yeah,
that was a trip.
But so yeah, there's going to be a double-edged sword to this. We hope that Mr. Favreau, if he does have this position, is able to elevate the creative conversation there across the board at this very damaged company. But we're already seeing that, he's a kind of, it's Star Wars Lucasfilm is such in weak shape that if your eye is off of it, it doesn't seem to be able to function properly. So maybe since Mr. Favreau does respond to the public, I know he's heard all this feedback that this isn't what people necessarily wanted from Boba Fett. I'm hoping that he won't be so distracted with these higher responsibilities that he won't at least reinsert himself back into Obi-Wan to counteract those other figures that Tom rightly says will be there to screw up Obi-Wan too. So, I mean, to whatever extent Ms. Kennedy has influence still, she will use it to mess up Obi-Wan. I mean, Obi-Wan, white male leader. Yeah, she don't want that dude. It's all gonna be about him. He's gonna have to repent for the colonial, oppression of the Tuscans, right?
And some girl better come in and save him because there needs to be a female to save him.
It'll be the girl in the Vespa. It'll be
that's what it is. Yes.
Girl, the Vespa's gonna come into the bright Vespa, and when he's lost his lightsaber, she'll be there for him.
Well, wait, which Power Ranger is she though?
The red
Captain Kennedy Power Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because everything you can tell wherever Miss Kennedy has influence, because there's always a brunette British chick as the heroine. That's the shtick, right? And so okay, that's her again.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, so Tom, let's see. Do
had
you
a
have
second
any
scoop,
other
Tom. You had a
comments on this one? Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll take us off this topic then. So I didn't know if we were done with this topic or not.
Yeah,
But,
unless there's people in the chat that are.
We'll probably get back to it through the course of super chats. But no, the other big topic, for those who haven't seen it already on my Twitter, from multiple sources now, I've heard that Tom Holland signed a huge deal with Sony and MCU going forward. He will be in at least 6 more Spider-Man movies. And I'm hearing the entire deal will encompass either 9 to 12 pictures at this time. I don't have an exact number, but Mikey Sutton backed it up and he said 9 picture deal.
Wow.
So yeah, from multiple sources, I can at least name Mikey Sutton on that, but I can't name the other sources. Yeah. So do take it with a grain of salt, but I have a feeling that this is going to be news that's probably going to hit the like Variety and Deadline and all that stuff tomorrow morning.
Wow.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. After what Spider-Man is still the number one movie.
Yeah.
I also heard he got some. He definitely made sure he got back end deal.
Smart.
So I can't give you any kind of like monetary value on this deal yet. And also, I heard rumors that it could even include like a directorial gig. I don't know if that means like a Spider-Man movie. I doubt that, but it might be like a passion project or something of that sort. And then I even heard a possibility of an option for a 7th final Spider-Man movie as well. Or not a 7th, it'd be a 10th final Spider-Man movie.
Oh my goodness.
But a 7th one in this contract. Plus, he already has the one movie he already owes Marvel yet. So this is not even that deal doesn't include the one that he has, which most people at this point are pretty sure is going to be Doctor Strange 2, I think. But we don't know yet. But he has one more appearance left on that contract. And then this starts a whole new contract, which definitely I know includes, to this point at least, not definitely, but is rumored to include 6 more Spider-Man features alone. So there you go, kids. That's the other big scoop of the day.
So that's at least $100 to $150 million payday over the course.
I said more. Yeah, I said around that. That's my first reaction too, but it's probably going to be a lot more than that. Probably
back end stuff.
I want to be excited, but are they going to?
You didn't like the new Spider-Man? You didn't like this last one?
I liked the last act. I liked the last probably 35 minutes, but the build up, I don't know. It was probably just me. I just couldn't get really into the beginning and the middle. The end I loved. If the whole movie would have been the end, I would have been down. Like, yeah, this is amazing. I don't know. It just took too long to pick up, I guess. I don't know. I like the end of it. That sounds mean. Not like I liked when it ended, but I like the
the end. That last part was amazing. It was off the chain. So I kind of felt like you. It was because I was just like, if Toby isn't in this is wasting my freaking time. So it did feel kind of slow to me in the beginning, but that last 30-40 minutes,
yeah, it really made up for the fact that, like, in the beginning, I think I was like 45 minutes in, an hour in, and I kept like looking at my phone, like, oh God, how much long? But then, like I said, as soon as it started picking up and things started happening, then I was like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I didn't hate it, but.
Well, the thing is this, the wonderful thing about this film is that they've given us all kinds of possibilities moving forward. They, first of all, finally set Holland as a guy who follows the philosophy of Spider-Man. Which so that's never been established, and they finally established it here. And they've essentially erased everything he's done, at least from the world's memory. So it's a blank slate, so he can go back to being the Spider-Man. And he's a talented actor. So, I think I would love to see a couple of movies that are purely like him running around recreating his life without being in the, even if he's in the MCU, they don't know who the hell he is, right? And so he can just be himself as Spider-Man.
He can be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Iron Man Jr.
There's a very good possibility they could be great. It's just nowadays I go into anything that's Marvel with like a grain of salt. Like,
I hear you. I'm worried about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
You should be, because
I'm really worried because
we got Joker Voice here.
We got Super Chats here. Joker Voice for $5. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Mr. J. Hail Comrade. Great video this morning with Valiant Renegade. I want to be a fly on the wall when KK has to face Chapek, Bergman, and Favreau.
Well, if what I heard was true, she has. So anyway, I don't know, Cameron.
So she's already had these kinds of
conversations.
Are not pleasant, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, again, take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I mean, it certainly feels like the natural power dynamic in the current situation that they would try to pull something like this. And I have seen situations where someone overshoots their boss, it's a very ugly moment for everyone. At least for the
went
the
over
boss.
my helmet.
So, but that's this town, right? This town is merciless. You're at the top, and then you're humiliated, and then the person you insulted, is then at the top. It's just this town.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that famous line, every ass that you kick on the way up will be an ass that you kiss on
the way down. Yeah.
And I've seen it with my own eyes. It's a real maxim. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember once, without going into details, a producer I worked with who was very arrogant and very difficult to work with. I remember how poorly they treated me on the show that I was on. And then they went off to great success in another show and becoming very powerful on that. And blew it all. I mean, the actors hated them, the leads hated them, and in the end, they were pushed out. By literally, the writers rebelled. The writers' room wouldn't come in anymore. They're like, "We're not gonna. As long as this person is the boss, we're not coming in. We're just not coming. You can quit. You can fire all of us." The actors wouldn't come in. That's how extreme it got. And so, finally, the studio and the network let that person go. And then there was humiliating series of articles on Deadline about all their misbehavior, all the stuff that I had seen when I worked with them was going to come. And then after that, a few months after that, I got this surprise email from this person saying, "Hey, what are you up to? You want to develop something?"
See,
so I mean, kick my ass, and they're like, "Hey, you want to develop something together?" Because I got no work right now, and Cameron, I was talented. But I'm really busy right now. I'm sorry.
There you go.
It happens.
Shady.
Redneck.
Let's see, Mandy. That's for you.
I didn't notice we changed it. Redneck Hero for $5. Thank you so much, hon. Hello, ladies. First time watching all of you.
Wow.
Mandy, love your accent. Oh, thank you, Love Bucket. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. So welcome.
Welcome to the cult.
Yeah, welcome to the cult.
You're gonna have cult of 3 hot women. That's a cult. Cult are usually some weirdo loser guy, and with like all the women following him. But this is an effective cult.
Yes, Mexican Iron Man. Hello, Mexican Iron Man. Our 1999 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Tom. Hi, ladies.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey.
Bonus quiz question. What's my real name and what is my spirit animal? Hint, think Shang-Chi. Ha!
So you're going to give us more money, Mike, if we answer this? We can't answer this question.
I know his real name, but I don't know if he wants me to tell it.
I know his real name, but...
Right, so,
yeah.
Mike is his real first name, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Call him Nacho Supreme.
I call him Aztec Iron Man. So
Aztec Iron Man works.
I know the spirit animal, but I'll let the ladies answer.
Rabbit chicken?
Yes.
Do you like rabbit? Do you like chicken? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have both at the same time, but can never find both at the same place? Well, Disney and Shang-Chi have taken care of that for you. That's right. You can get yourself rabbit chicken meat, now available at every Walmart and Costco. What you waiting for? Move your feet and get some rabbit chicken meat. It's good.
That's right. No butt and no head. 6 legs and 4 wings. It was made for eating.
I saw that in the movie. I'm like, what the heck is that? What is it? Tom's like, it's a rabbit chicken.
That's all Mike. Mike came up with that one, so I can't take it.
Nice.
So funny. No, I think I called it a headless ottoman that looked like a butt. I think that's what I called it.
Andre called it headless snarf from Thundercats.
Oh,
Snarf! Oh my god, I haven't
Wow.
thought of Snarf in years. Oh my god.
Wow.
so funny.
Yeah, everyone, did Lionel bang what's her face? The hot chick? There was only one hot chick in it's like, remember they were only survivors of their cat race, and there was like 5 dudes and one hot chick. So I was like, remember what was the name of the hot chick? Tom, do you remember the name of the hot chick in
I
Thundercats?
can't believe I'm blanking.
Catra or whatever, not Catra.
Yeah, and I was like, all right.
Something like that. I can't remember now. That's the one from She-Ra.
She-Ra.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Shatara. That's it. Shatara. Thank you,
Oh,
John.
okay.
John Ware Jr. got it. Thank you for that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There we go.
Let's
And
see.
Sean the Movie
We
Man.
have Sean the Movie Man 71 for $2. Thank you so very much, my dear. You are my favorite Midnight's Edge guest. Love you, man.
Is that for me? I guess I'm
Of
a guest.
course it is.
That's
Okay,
for
alright.
you, darling.
Okay, so great.
There we go.
No,
Mandy, you can grab this.
Sean, I was teasing. You've been like, I was teasing when I said you might be. I'm not bangable chick, but I've seen you so many times in the chats, and it's always a delight. So thank you.
Oh, well, we have another one from Sean the Movie Man for $2. Thank you so much. And he says, super chat to the great Cameron Pasha. So look at you making it rain.
It's okay. Thank you. He's very gracious. All right, so we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on here. I mean, it's a nice way to start the beginning of this year. Like, January isn't over yet, and there's a lot of signs that this might be a good year for us.
I know.
I hope so.
I know. I'm very hopeful. I feel way more hopeful this year than I did, like, say, this time last year.
As long as
I feel
people
more
quit
positive.
dying,
Yeah,
How about that helps too.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Lord. Betty White. Lord have mercy.
Betty White, Meatloaf, Louis Anderson, stop already. It's enough.
that really is getting out of hand.
Totally. This one's for you.
Yes, Redneck Hero for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Redneck Hero. No, I have to make it dramatic. Okay.
You did that better than Darth Vader did.
Right?
Bruce Willis himself said it's not a Christmas movie. LOL.
Bruce Willis don't know his ass from a hole.
I watched it at Christmas
It's
time.
Christmas
so
movie.
that's-
Dag on it.
That may be why I feel that way.
Even the
Because
director was
It's a
like, I
Christmas
never
movie.
intended it to be a Christmas movie, but hey, people watch it at Christmas. It's a Christmas.
It's a Christmas
Mhm.
It's a
movie.
Christmas
Well,
movie.
that's the
Totally.
thing of art. Art is interpreted by the viewer.
Thank
You
you.
can, I'm as an author, I write things as a writer, and it doesn't matter what I write and what I intend. It's what you take away from them. So it doesn't, and Mr. Willis is not even the writer. He's just a character. He's playing a character in the movie. So thank you very much, sir. But you don't get to define that. The audience defines it.
I usually like to like, I have a few finishing moves with that argument, but one of them is like, look at movies like It's a Wonderful Life. Die Hard has more to do with Christmas than It's a Wonderful Life does. And to me, the test is if you can take Christmas out of the equation and the movie still works, then it's really not a Christmas movie. Die Hard doesn't really work if you take Christmas out of the equation. Like, I mean, you can make the argument, well, what about a New Year's party and this, that party? No. It specifically is chosen to be Christmas because the quote unquote terrorist / thieves knew exactly who was going to be there and that the rest of the building was going to be empty. And the only reason Bruce Willis was in town was to see his family on
Christmas.
Yeah, it's inherent to the story.
And it's Christmas
Exactly.
Day, isn't it? It's Christmas.
Well, Christmas Eve, but
Christmas
yeah.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then the same thing happens to the same guy twice.
plus there are Christmas
Yeah.
decorations in the film throughout the building, and there's a Christmas party that's going on, and
Yeah.
even the music, not this. I guess it's like the soundtrack, or not the sound, not the songs, but some of the soundtrack is actually Christmas themed style music. So they play up to a Christmas theme in it.
Yeah, Michael
So they
Kamen
can't
has a
deny
lot of
that.
jingle bells in the score, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of ching, 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 ching.
And
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
a lot
ding,
of
ding, 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 ding. You know,
there's
like,
a lot of background like Christmas stuff going on that when you're watching it, it just makes you feel like it's Christmas.
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis?
That's the thing with the director. Again, the director from doesn't have to consciously know that they put all those things in there. They're subconsciously motivated to make a Christmas movie, and they may not be consciously aware of it, but the result is on the screen.
There you go.
Yeah, Gremlins is another one that always falls into that, and even Joe Dante didn't anticipate Gremlins becoming a Christmas movie, but I'm like, that movie has so much to do with Christmas. I mean, it's literally about how, you could get into a whole thing about consumerism. Like the gift is literally consuming
Oh,
the people.
wow.
You know, like there's a whole like thing I've gotten into before on that. But anyway, we need to move on. But here's another one on Die Hard.
We have Aaron Pipes for $5. Thank you so very, very much for that. I own the Stare Og machine gun used in Die Hard. Really cool weapon.
I think
Very
if
cool.
I remember right, I think you've shown pictures of that online. I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Aaron, that is awesome.
Wow.
If not, I'm thinking of somebody else who showed a different weapon from the same movie.
Have you gotten a chance to shoot it, or is it just for?
See, a lot of those, I don't know that you have to read. Like when they sell those for movies, like they'll decommission them or whatever the word is.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, like they'll put a cap in them or I can't remember exact terms.
Right.
Yeah. But you could technically make them work again, I guess. But yeah. Then we got Oliver Closeoff again.
Yeah, Oliver close off for $5. Thank you so much. My 70s crush was a toss-up between Jenny Agutter or Linda Carter.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. I love Linda Carter.
Now, Jenny Agutter was in that movie where you die after the age of 20 or 30 or something like that.
Logan's Run?
Yes.
I believe so. And she's probably more well known. She's probably more well known
She
though
was in
for American Werewolf in London, I was gonna say. As
she also played
as the nurse. Yeah.
Guinevere in Excalibur, and she was in another film as a kid, like a very famous like art film about Aboriginal people, and I can't remember. Walkabout? Is it called Walkabout? It's Walkabout.
I feel like that's the title. I know the movie you're referencing.
And it was very controversial at the time because she was nude in that film as like a very young girl. Okay. So that's who Jenny Agutter is, and she was in American Werewolf.
Okay, I recognize her, and good choice. Dude.
Yeah, she's hot. And she eventually wound up being in Winter Soldier as well. As one of the people on the screens. Yeah, she's one of the people on the screens.
Oh, like one of the powerful people, like
That's
right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But isn't she also in? Wasn't she in another one too?
I think she did play a different part in another Marvel movie. Now that you bring it up,
it's the same thing that Tom is talking about, except in the second film, it's when it looks like it's Jenny Agutter, but when the person rips their face off, it's actually Black Widow.
Yep.
So she's the one of the like high, important political attaches or whoever is in that meeting, and they think it's just an ordinary person, and then she's like she does like a serious kick, and it's like, oh, it's Black Widow. So that's Jenny Agutter.
Okay,
she's a hottie. But yeah, she was in American Werewolf in London was one of the big ones, and she's in Child's Play too. And then we got Armando Albornoz here. If I can say that correctly.
Armando Albornoz.
Thank you.
$5 super chat. Armando, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Mandy, great to see you back.
Oh, thank you, Lavag. Thank you.
Thanks for making me aware of the brave little toaster. I really liked it.
Oh, did you go and watch it? Yeah, it's cute. It's like the first Pixar movie I ever saw. It's cute.
Wow.
It's adorable.
Raymond. Thank you, Raymond Hoy. Oh my gosh. You're crushing it. $50. So generous.
Wow. Thank you, Raymond.
Very
much.
Thank
you so much.
He says, Mandy, it is so good to see your lovely face again, as well as the lovely faces of Lorena and By the way, Frosk is an animal abuser because she wouldn't feed Adam Sessler a fish when he clapped his flippers. Cameron, a pleasure, sir. Hi, Tom.
How are you doing?
Went over my head. I don't know what's going
on. Adam Sessler is he was the one on the video, and what's funny is I think he's on the video because he's
he's the guy that
you have to do it like up and down.
He's probably not allowed in the same room as women. I'm imagining.
I hear saying that.
It's like dead inside.
Yeah, he was saying a weird spot.
Okay, this is a sophisticated joke that went over my head.
Yes,
they made a $50 joke indeed.
And then if not, I think there was some right in the private chat there that were for Cameron if we didn't get them already.
Yeah, because I have to head out in just a few minutes.
From Thena Martin.
She had a question.
She had a question. Okay. Cameron, have you ever met Meghan Markle?
No, I have not met Ms. Markle. She's an interesting character. I think I don't know that her shine is going to last this year, at least in Hollywood. I think she's making a big effort to come back as an actress. I'm not sure that's going to work out.
Well, she signed that deal, right, Cameron, with Disney, and it didn't necessarily. Was it that she was doing voiceovers for Disney for the Discovery something or something?
It was
like
voiceover, I think, for some.
It was a sweet deal.
Series, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, she's going to get money. It's just I think that there's a general feeling that maybe her star is not rising. That's just the vibe I'm getting in the industry. So
Yeah,
cousin Megan, her bankability is kind of like in the toilet. Yes, that is not a joke. Yes, I am related to Meghan Markle.
She
Yeah,
is.
you brought that up before.
Is it like all the presidents are like, related to each other? You're related to all these random celebrities?
Yes, they are, because they all come out of Cape Cod.
Okay.
All of because I'm related to about 20 U.S. presidents. They're all from that same New England families because the cousins married
The Illuminati family.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
And then Mexican Iron Man sends in $19.99.
Rabbit Chicken is a winner.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, we all knew Rabbit Chicken was the winner.
I for those you don't know, I actually met Mike for the first time just a month ago.
Yeah.
We had really good Persian food in Westwood with the Sufi Sheikh, and it was really lovely to meet him.
Did he fight you with a lightsaber?
That.
No, he didn't want to. Yeah.
That was so cute.
The food is good. There's some good.
Probably a good idea. He'd have kicked your ass. I've seen him in action.
Yeah, he would have kicked my ass. He's a powerful dude. Got a lot of energy.
Well, he's good.
We got more.
We got Redneck Hero next.
Yeah.
Is it me?
Yeah, you can go ahead and take that. There's another one for Comer I'll get after this.
Okay. By the way, love the way you read super chats. I stand by my opinion. It's not a Christmas movie.
That's your prerogative. Nobody's going to change.
That's right, sir.
It's just a fun debate to get in every holiday.
Yeah.
And then we got this one from Merlin Zid, who asked for $2, and we'll just get to this. Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? Mostly no. But you can watch it on Christmas. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's like this, a movie that is of the spirit of a Christmas movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which feels like a Christmas movie.
It's actually more of a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, it is a thing. I mean, it's set for Thanksgiving. It culminates in that. But it's not that vibe, that sort of home family, homecoming feeling.
Definitely does, yeah. Home Alone's another one that I think was actually released in the summer, if I remember right, too. Again,
yeah,
thing.
Wasn't a Christmas release. Let's see. We have
Sonic X or Sonic Times 2. Sonic Times 2, I think it is actually.
I always say X.
It might be Sonic X2. I'm not 100% sure on that either.
Sonic X Squared. Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Wants to know? Yeah, here's one for Cameron.
Yo, Cameron, any word on Aquaman 2 and Amber Turd?
Well, I don't have an official word as in someone's telling me what's happening there. I mean, my instinct is that assuming that the Discovery merger goes through and they take over Warner Brothers without any regulatory efforts to stop it, then I think David Zaslav is not going to want to see Ms. Heard pull down that franchise. I do believe if she is in the final cut of the movie and has a real role, not just like quick flash and out, right? Then I think there's going to be a lot of people that won't go see it. I think Mr. Depp has a very strong support base worldwide, and I believe that the movie is going to fail drastically because the anger building towards her, especially as more information leaks out over their court trials in the last year, is very high. So I think if I'm aware of it, David Zaslav is aware of it, the executives of Warner Brothers are aware of it. They've just made commitments to support her for a lot of reasons. We can speculate about why they would continue to support someone like this. But I don't think that David Zaslav feels any obligation to keep her in the movie. And if it so happens that he takes control before the movie is actually finally released, I personally would expect it to go into reshoots to remove her. But let's see what happens.
I think it'll be interesting to see too. It'll depend on how much she's actually in the trailer. And as far as the other part, it'll be interesting to see if she doesn't get arrested for the shit she pulled in Australia.
Yeah, it's actually building. That's becoming a real thing there. The parliament is talking about it. It's a big thing.
Wow.
They might want to make an example out of her.
I hope they do. That would be
Serves her fucking right, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Exactly.
I don't necessarily support the
The
Australian
word.
government on a lot of things recently, but I will support them on that. So,
Exactly. Oh, Brian. Hey, love bug. We got Brian Criscow in the chat for $5. Everybody, make sure y'all check out his book, Six Gun Gorilla. Hey, love bug.
ooh.
He says, mucho love to ladies and gent. Welcome back, Mandy. Thank you. When I was a wee lad, Linda Carter was the woman who made me realize that I liked girls a lot.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, she definitely had that effect on me, but mine was always Cheryl Ladd. It was Cheryl Ladd. I mean, I can tell you, it was that famous scene from Charlie's Angels when she comes out in the red bikini, right? And it's just like I would have been 5 years old, and I watched that, and I suddenly had all these butterflies in my stomach, and I was like, girls are so pretty. Cheryl Ladd, but Linda Carter definitely was one of my early crushes.
Awesome. Or actually not too far behind here. Merlin's Id sends in $5 next.
Yes, Merlin's Id for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Merlin's Id. I actually think Lethal Weapon is a Christmas
I'm not going
movie.
to argue against it. Yeah.
What says holiday spirit better than being suicidal?
And that is why I can't. And I think Gremlins makes that point better than any movie about Christmas.
Well, the sad part is that it is unfortunately where we are in culture, certainly in America, and I'm sure it's true in Europe, that holidays can be a very lonely time, and that is a sad truth, and we need to be able to talk about that. That kind of getting out of that situation is a very extreme action. So I think people should always be able to talk about that, and release that, because it's we all need you around. Stick around here. You have something to offer this world.
Well, and as Kate said in Gremlins, God, say you hate Washington birthday, nobody cares, but say you hate Christmas and everybody acts like you're a leper or something. The suicide rate always doubles around the holidays. That's exactly word for word. Trust me, you can go check it out.
I believe you.
Yeah, I recall it.
No, I don't doubt you.
You nailed it, Tom. Let's see. We have Nicholas Horton for £5. Thank you for giving us the Queen's money. Jenny Agatir also starred in the original Railway Children 1960s-ish movie and in the upcoming sequel produced by the BBC.
It's the Railway Children. Is that like the boxcart children? The boxcart kids? Is it the same? Is it the same book?
I don't
Maybe.
I've never seen that movie.
My teacher used to read us the Boxcart Children when I was in. I don't remember what grade
I know
I was
what
in.
you're talking about, but I don't know.
It was
if
like
it's
the
same thing,
Orphan
yeah.
Train for some reason, but maybe not.
Maybe. I have no idea. I don't know that I've ever seen.
Well, Nicholas will have to let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
And on the point of Linda Carter, Chris Catman here has another one.
Is that me?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Chris Catman for $5. Thank you so much. Linda Carter is a wonderful woman. Sorry, Gal Gadot. And Eartha Kitt as my Catwoman.
Oh, yes. Eartha Kitt. Eartha
Kitt. Yes, indeed.
No, and that's why, and because I'm going to be controversial here, because why not? That's why I'm a little bit agitated by a lot of people that are prejudging the Batgirl situation, because I think the actress is wonderful. Leslie, I think she's absolutely wonderful, and I personally liked the costume and the hair. And so just remember, guys, Eartha Kitt was the black,
yes, she was.
She was, and she was good at it. And it was in the 60s.
Yeah,
yes.
And people didn't make a big drama of it. In the 60s, when they were hosing people and sending dogs on them,
she's like, I'm going to get you, Batman. Like she was
great.
Yes, you will.
She was great as it. So let's
and I will let you willingly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's essentially.
I loved watching those episodes.
Robin,
man.
go to the store and get me some cigarettes.
Say this, guys. We don't. Let's when Batgirl comes out, judge the movie for what it is, judge the script for what it is, and judge her performance for what it is. Please don't jump to the she's Latina, so she can't be it, because that's not fair. Let's see if she nails it.
And I haven't seen too many people go after her so much as just the outfit, which I can understand to a point.
The outfit.
And then the director had to come out and be a dick about it too. But
she should be happy she's a redhead. People, because the first thing was like, erasure of gingers. Well, she's a redhead. Are you happy now? Well, I don't like her pants. All right, okay.
Okay, now that's
I mean, it's never gonna be happy.
Well,
Whatever. I mean, that's just I just want to present that. Just give it a fair shot. If you don't like the movie when you see it, great. Don't prejudge it.
I was gonna say most people in the chat are saying it's the outfit, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I do recall the erasure redhead drama, and then the moment the redhead comes out, everyone's like pretends they didn't have that issue. I'm like,
oh, I didn't even see that part. I just when I saw the costume, I was kind
There
of
was a few people who brought it up initially, yes, about the race swap.
Erasure redhead. They're not erasing a redhead, and there are Latina redheads. They really are. They really do exist.
Cameron, do we need to let you go?
I do need to leave in a minute. Is there anything else that I need to address here? Just my mom's got really
we're
nice,
caught up on the super chats except for the 2 we have here left. But yeah. I will say I did see Scream though, and I don't know what fucking movie you saw, Cameron. I tell you, that movie was a piece of shit, and it was everything I heard.
Definitely. Have you ladies seen the movie? At some point, we can have.
I will see. I'm seeing it this week.
Okay, well, let's have. I'd love to.
I don't want to say anything more than that about it.
Oh, Black Christmas. Is that the one where Billy
you didn't
comes
like the
home?
movie. That's fair. That's fair. I like the movie.
Well, and just some of the directions it went, I'm just like, are you kidding me? But
Wait,
anyway, we'll get into
is,
it in a different
Is
time.
Black Christmas the one where Billy comes home?
I've never even seen that.
Trying to remember. That's a good question because I've seen so many of these Christmas horror movies.
The horror movie where
Black Christmas is the one at the college with the girls, and I don't know if the remake is based on the original or not because I can't remember if that's the one.
Is that the horror movie? It was like a slasher.
They did 2 different remakes
it's a
of
slasher
Christmas.
movie.
Yeah, they did 2 different Black
Christmas.
Christmases in like the last 10 years. And the original one, there was one that was close to the original, and then there was one that was like hardly anything like the original. I can't remember which one was which.
Wow.
Somebody in the chat will get me here in the right track. But
there was a remake, and
yes,
people were grumbling that it wasn't. Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking that the 2019 is the one that had nothing to do with the original.
Yeah, I think that feels right because that's recent, right? And I do remember Black Christmas was an older movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the older slashers. I don't think that I ever saw Black Christmas, so I should go back and see it. The original.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird. It was
Billy comes home in the original one. You are right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I knew when I saw Billy was coming home because I used to say that was what I was going to make my kids watch. I didn't end up doing it, but I didn't have kids yet, and I used to say this is going to be our family tradition: is we're going to watch Black Christmas.
Here's my opinion before I head out. I think Friday the 13th Part 2 is the scariest of all of them. That's
as far as slasher films.
Certainly not of all of them. I think of the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees movies, I think the number 2 is the scariest. It scared the crap out of me more than the others did.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
2 with the one that
I don't know. You got the first one with the Mad Mama.
Yeah,
is that the one when she put on the mom's sweater?
Mm-hmm.
That's the second one, yeah.
I love the second one.
Yeah. Second one's decent, yeah.
I like the second.
And the final scene when you see him without the mask, it's really scary.
It's really scary when you're like 6 years old.
It does have one of the most reused death scenes in all. Like whenever they go back and talk about Jason with the guy in the wheelchair who goes falling backwards down the stairs. Yeah.
Well, if people just stop having sex outside of marriage. These movies are morality plays, right?
They really are.
I mean, that's what first movie's all about. If these guys weren't having sex outside of marriage, they would have saved her drowning kid, right? I mean, that's what these movies are about.
Yeah.
Everyone should go back to a good religious.
And then Nicholas Horton says the railway children is about 3 children and their mother who moved to the British countryside next to a railway, and the kids become interested in watching trains. So obviously, no, it's not the same.
Okay, yeah, no, not even.
It's not the orphan.
No, I've never even heard of that.
Not the one with the little orphan kids on the train, then.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking it was.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, thanks for clarifying that.
Thank you.
Merlin Zid had one here.
Probably after this one, I should head out.
Yeah, probably. I don't think it was directed at you per se, but go ahead, one of the ladies, whoever wants to grab it.
Merlin's it for $5. Thank you so very much. I was trying to tell a dark joke with my last one, but I think I just wound up bringing everyone down. Sorry. No.
We look down. We're having fun here. No one's down.
Here's one for Cameron.
Oh, last one. Okay, we go.
Oh, okay. Stormwave Entertainment Media for $5. Thank you so much. I have laughed more in this stream than I have the entire week. You guys are the best. Sending you all love and best wishes. Cameron, you're cool.
Well, I will take that, and I'm glad we could make you laugh. I think we all need to laugh a lot more.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
I will give you this much though, Cameron. As far as
Mhm.
Scream goes, I wouldn't call it woke, but it's definitely a comment on toxic fans. I will say
yeah.
that.
I mean, and there are a few different characters with perspectives on that. And you
Yeah.
know, look, it's okay. I love the movie. Tom didn't like the movie. That's fine. That's fine.
There's some other shit I didn't like about it. There's just batshit crazy, but that's a total other different conversation.
That's all fine. And at some point, I'm happy to have maybe come out next week if Lorraine have seen it. We can all talk about our different perspectives on it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed the
I'm
movie very
planning to
much.
see it this week
And
because I've just
yeah,
heard so much
yeah.
chatter from
Yeah.
both sides. I'm like,
Just
I
like-
need
Well,
to-
it took a nosedive at the box office this weekend, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, it is rare for the movie that it knocks off to replace it. So that's clearly it didn't hold up for a lot of people.
I mean, it didn't do horribly. It only had like a 51-ish% drop. But yeah, after the first opening weekend, that's it'll be lucky to stay in line with the fourth film, let alone the rest of the franchise at this point. But we'll see.
Okay.
Plus, I think it's going to be on Paramount Plus in like 30 some days. I think.
But will Paramount Plus still exist in 31 days?
That's a good
I don't know if they'll still be.
I don't know. Did you see the new Picard trailer? Ooh.
I can't.
Well, they
I
are having
can't.
some luck with that Kevin Costner series. The what the hell is it called? Yellowstone.
Yeah, I heard it was very
Alright.
popular. They said it's a great series.
Yeah, they're having a lot of success with that right now.
People like
so.
Yellowstone. And apparently they're doing a prequel which is set 100 years ago in the 1800s, right? And I yet again show my reps because I'm always writing these like historical epics. They're like, there's no market for that. I'm like, there's no market for that except everything that people are watching.
There is
Yeah,
so
like
a market for
People
that.
love westerns
Totally.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's so a market for
Totally.
that.
The harder they
Historical
fall,
stuff, yeah.
shoot.
Mhm.
Well, because
That was
the
a Western.
historical stuff. I tell them it's like my reps keep telling me we need a contemporary piece from you, and I'm like, the current contemporary world sucks.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
no.
write it. Everyone is a weirdo. I don't know how to write these people living in 2022. They're also, I don't understand any of these people. You take me to 1885, I understand those people real well.
No,
I
you
get it.
stick to like what the script I read that you did. You
Yeah,
stick to
yeah.
that because
You
it
read
was
the one in the
amazing.
1500s.
Medieval times made so much more sense.
Well, because human beings, we just try to survive. We didn't have time.
Right?
You didn't have all this other bullshit to worry about. Yeah.
Exactly. We're
Exactly.
like trying
First
to
world
eat,
fucking
live.
problems. Exactly. Did you get to see the new Resident Evil movie at all, Cameron? In case
I
before you go?
did. I thought
Well,
it was
Redneck
fun.
Hero wants to know if you liked it or not. He hated it.
Okay, that's fair. I thought it was fun. I'm not a big fan of the Resident Evil franchise, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It's it's a prequel. It's how this zombie apocalypse started. That's the essential storyline of the thing. For what it is, I enjoyed it. Maybe because I've not watched all of the movies in that sequence, so I don't know how it plays in relationship to them. I enjoyed it for people taking off zombies in an abandoned asylum.
Did any of the rest of you see it? I didn't.
I have not watched
I
the
didn't
Resident
watch
Evil
it.
movies.
I know
but
Paulie went and seen it, and he said it was horrible. So
the first one disappointed me so bad I never went back and watched
Same.
another
I
one
was
because I went
never-
in wanting it to be like the game, right? Like not like the game, but like in a mansion. Not what I got. Like she's zombie kicking the dogs and stuff in the front. I don't know. I
that's
didn't.
funny because the dogs is what took me out of it. I'm just like, okay, this
See?
is dumb.
Yeah, I was done when the zombie dogs showed up, and she's just like Matrix kicking.
It
them
was so
and
bad
stuff.
that I bought. I that was one of the few movies back in the day on DVD I blind bought, and I ended up giving it to my friend because he liked it so much. I'm just like, I can't. stand it.
It's a weird. That one has a really Resident Evil. Either you love it,
Love it or hate it.
or
Yeah,
you hate it. And
Like,
yeah, I
Cameron-
fell on the hate
Well,
side.
Cameron
it's
has to
nice
leave
to
us, but go ahead.
I do, but the original movie I know he appeared in the franchise, but was my friend Oded fair in the first movie? Oded, if you remember, was the very handsome guy from The Mummy.
I can't remember now. It's been so
Can't
long.
Remember the very sexy dude in The
Yeah,
Mummy?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I know
yeah,
who
yeah.
you're
Oh
talking
yeah, I
about.
remember
Okay.
him.
But Oded
I can't
was
remember,
our
yeah.
star. Yeah, he was with Michael Lilly, our co-lead on Sleeper Cell, and really one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever worked with. And he's really like this guy who is like a sex idol and doesn't want the job. Like I would go to dinner with him, when we're filming, and women would just come up to him while we're eating and give him his number. And he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm married." And I was like, "Dude, if you don't want this job, let's switch." You don't want the job?
Yeah.
That's too
Well, we'll
funny.
get back to Bird Up's
right, we gotta
super
get
chat
this,
in just
but
a
I do
moment,
have
but we
that.
got one for Cameron here from Stormwave. wants to know, if you had a chance and total creative freedom, what type of zombie film would you make? What era and what would be fun for you?
So I'm going to give this a surprise answer. I have a script where there's a zombie scene in there, but it's a zombie scene from another culture. So I have an Arabian Nights pilot, which is actually about Scheherazade and her adventures, and it's like Usual Suspect. You see how she comes up with her stories based on the real life adventures she has, right? We see how she meets the real Aladdin that will become Aladdin in the stories. And there's a sequence in there where she has to take on these creatures called the Ghouls, which is, Ras Al Ghul from Batman, right? So the Ghouls are actually a form of zombie in the Middle East, coming out of the Arabian Nights stories. So that is a story we've never seen.
Is that where the word ghoul came from?
It ghoul comes from that, right? And so the Ghouls are so I was like, we've never seen taking on Middle Eastern zombies. And so I was like, let's put that scene in there.
See, I kind of love how language works like that, where you can always kind of tell where the origination of a word, especially from like the English and how we borrowed so much from so many different cultures. Not just us, but the actual English to begin with. But you know what I'm getting at.
Exactly. Well, Ras Al Ghul himself was taken out of actual Middle Eastern mythology of the assassins and all of that. And granted, they put all this, the Lazarus pit and everything else on top of it. But those characters are coming out of that.
I'm sure, the undead business and all that stuff. Yeah. That's really cool. Cool.
But yeah, the Ghouls. So maybe inspired me. Maybe I'll make an entire horror movie just on the Ghouls. Like people go into like,
well, we've seen like
whatever and then attacked by these things.
We've seen like Western zombie movies, but I don't think we've seen much else other than that. So like, it's probably areas that haven't been tapped yet. That'd be because I mean, let's be real, the zombie thing's kind of been done to death. So what can you do that hasn't been? Well, stuff like that. Some that take them to
zombies with different rules.
They have Pride and Prejudice in zombies, and I like that.
Yeah, see, they've done some stuff like that already. So
I like the book too. Yeah,
it's doable.
Yeah.
So all right, well, we just lost Lorena, but
we lost Lorena. She'll be back. I'm about to take off.
Back.
Goodbye to her.
Here she is. She's back. She just must either
eat
it herself or had
I
a
will say my goodbye.
Welcome back.
So there's maybe the last one, and then I will go. And if there's any super chats that we've missed, please hold on to them. I come on Midnight's Edge very often on Fridays. So Tom, if there's a couple that I missed,
I think we've got them all. We're all up to date on the super chats. This is actually the only one we got left right now. So I've been trying to do my best to try and keep up with them as best as possible. So but yes, so thank you so much, Cameron, again for your time. We appreciate you being here, and we'll talk to you again, I believe, on Friday.
And I'll just share this last thing. I'm almost at 200 subscribers on my Patreon. So
wow,
I need 4 more. If we can get 4 people off of this broadcast, you guys will have made my night. So in any event, ladies, thank you, and it's always an honor and a pleasure. Tom, I'll see you probably on Friday morning. Maybe Aram will be on as well, right?
I will.
That's it. And Mandy, you have
I'm emailing you tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna email. Yeah.
I'm still reading.
Pinky swear.
I'm a third way through, dude.
Me too.
And I'm pinky swear.
All right, guys. God bless everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Then we got Bird Up next here. Who wants to take this one?
I don't know his turn.
Bird Up for $5. Thank you so very much, my dear. I just realized it's been a while since we all argued about Halloween 3. Oh my goodness. I think it's awesome. Turn it off.
Yeah,
turn it off.
Turn
it's
it
still
off.
on the last channel.
I have not seen it. So
I love Halloween
cannot
3.
make a judgment on it.
Well, if you do watch it, go into it knowing, because it might save it for you. I went into it expecting Halloween and Michael Myers.
Right.
Don't go into it like that, and you may actually like it. But if you were going into it thinking you're about to watch like Michael Myers slashing some people, hang it up. It ain't happening. All you
no,
is,
and that's
4 days till Halloween.
I love that movie. That's the first Halloween movie I saw, so that's why I didn't have the perspective of the whole like expectation of Michael Myers, like, and that's to this day why I love. And I keep it separate. I interviewed the director, and he wishes to this day they would have released it as John Carpenter Presents Season of the Witch instead of Halloween.
That would have, and I may have liked it then. I might have liked it then. But like I said, when you're a kid and you get one chance to go to that video store that weekend, because that's when your parents take you, and you're
I hear you.
Michael Myers. And
that's
you don't
funny,
get it.
Andy.
Well, and the other thing is initially that was the whole plan, was they wanted to do like anthology movies from Halloween 2 on, but the studio, when Universal bought the rights for the sequel, they're like, no, we want Michael Myers. So like that was kind of like they were kind of stuck with it at that point. So like that was originally the plan, was to just do a different, like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone-y kind of Halloween movie every year.
And that would have been cool if they had
like the only tie just being the holiday. Yeah.
Right. That would have been okay. It's just I don't know. I
Well,
didn't
then
like
the beauty was you could have had the return of Michael Myers later down the road, and it would have meant more. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's one of those movies that does definitely have a cult following now, and I know Tommy Lee Wallace is glad that the fans finally found it. Adam Mulford is next, I believe.
Mandy,
yeah, Adam Mulford for $10. Thank you so much, hon. So by the games and books, Alice wasn't a real character. Character was made up. Alice was overshadowed all other female characters. The new Resident Evil is a rebooted, no connection to the other. I did not know that there was no connection with the new one. So I didn't even attempt to watch it.
As far as I knew, it was it was completely new reboot, but I heard that didn't help.
Oh,
I mean, some people I guess liked it, but it's been pretty divisive. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But yeah, I've heard it's a little bit closer to the games though, so you might like it. Who knows?
Silver Shamrock.
Silver Shamrock. Then we got Jesus Davila with a super sticker. I put it in the private chat so you guys know what it is.
You want to get that one?
Yes, it is a video game controller that gives a thumbs up and says, GG. Thank you so much, Jesus Davila, for the $2.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, I think you had one more story, right? That we were going to get through real quick.
Yeah, we have one more. It's quick because dang it, we really can't spend more time on this than we need to. But they're trying to make the M&M characters to become more inclusive. Did when you go, what? Yeah, when you get a bag of M&Ms, the only inclusivity I'm looking for is if it includes nuts or not.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, here's the thing. This is so freaking stupid. Nobody gives a shit about this. They don't even give a shit about this. They just don't want people digging into the fact that they abusing all them fucking kids over there. They don't want people to know about it. So we're going to make our candies a little more inclusive.
Yeah, because, they're kind of running into, issues, They're getting sued. Nestle's getting sued. Hershey's getting sued. Yeah.
There's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's funny all this come up because I had heard about this a couple months ago. And how they've been doing this is, okay, like what they'll do is they'll buy chocolate from a company that doesn't use the child labor. And they'll usually only use that said chocolate in like their main candy bar, like Nestle Crunch, for instance, let's say.
Okay.
So they can say on the wrapper that, it's whatever the hell logo they used to signify that it was a child-friendly facility.
Right.
But then the rest of the stuff that they make isn't. So they get away with it by just buying the more expensive chocolate for one thing and one thing only, and then using let's call it blood chocolate for the rest.
Yeah.
And this is something I've heard about months ago. And then now this is coming out like this. So this is very interesting.
This is their way of getting people. Don't worry about what's going on with the kids, okay? We know it's horrible. Don't worry about that. But you guys, we are making our little candy mascots. We're taking away the horseshoes, and we're giving her some kicks that were made in a factory by some small kids. So, yay!
No more of those slutty go-go boots on the jealous green M&M, who is no longer jealous anymore. She's supportive of her fellow females because they need to stick together.
Oh, of course. Of course, because why not, right?
Yeah.
This is the stupid. Nobody buys M&Ms because of these little asshole little candy things they have. Nobody's buying it for that. They're buying it because they want an M&M. You don't even have to advertise. You don't. It's an M&M. People are
I've been
buy
pissed at them since they got rid of John Lovitz as the main one. And they replaced him with that sound-alike guy.
Oh, hell.
Oh.
Yeah, John Lovitz used to be the red M&M.
I did not know that. I did not
Is
know
he in
that.
the Santa commercial one?
It might have been. He was when they first introduced these guys in the newer iteration. Because I mean, they had these characters like way back when, and then they kind of went away. And then they brought him back it was either late 80s or early 90s. John Lovitz did the voice originally for years, and then they switched it out with this guy who's been doing it ever since, who sounds like John Lovitz, but like not exactly, like close enough kind of thing. But it could have been back then. I can't remember offhand, but I'm sure you go look him up on YouTube. You can find somewhere he's doing the voice.
I mean, this is just so beyond stupid. It's so dumb.
So
nobody cares.
Is
about
Vanessa
this.
Williams still going to be acting in this commercial? Like, are they going to?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So it's not. I mean, she was this, brought a lot of excitement to the characters, and it was a fun thing. It was fun.
I love this. Was my the green M&M was my favorite.
Well, of course.
And she had the go-go boots.
Well, there's a reason why she was. It was kind of a joke that everybody was in on. Do you guys? Are you like? Well, I was gonna say I don't know if you ladies are old enough to know this, but like the whole green M&M thing is it makes you horny if you eat green M&Ms. That was the whole joke from back in the day.
When you eat green M&Ms.
So they made her a sexy, sultry character for that reason.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like it's a whole in joke. Like that was where it all came from to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like I can think back to like elementary school, and that with the green M&Ms make you horny. And they didn't. I don't know if y'all remember, but the blue was actually added later. They didn't originally, like when I was a kid, there wasn't a blue M&M. They added that later. And made a big deal about adding the blue one.
They actually had a campaign. I can't remember the other colors that they.
It was red. It was red. Tom. It was the color red, right?
No, red was always in there, but blue was added. But there was I think it was purple and some other color they had up against it.
I did not.
Or they were going to get rid of the brown or something like that. I can't remember.
Well, remember the brown one, the commercial where they had where the other M&Ms were laughing. One of them was laughing at her. I think it was the yellow one. And they said, "What's the problem?" I said, "To think I'm naked."
Yeah.
One dude said, "It's that kind of party," and he pulls off.
And he pulls off his shell.
That's what I mean. They used to be in on the joke. Now this just is a joke.
Yeah, no, it's all this is smoke and mirrors, so you don't look at how freaking disgusting and shady the practices that are used. But here's the thing that's crazy. You don't see anybody on the SJW side like going and trying to cancel these, even though they know they're using like child labor to make them. They
don't care. They just want
not saying a word about that. But the Five Nights at Freddy's guy donated money to a campaign they're against, so he should be canceled. But what's it matter if Nestle's using child labor?
Yeah. Do you think it'll get to a point where we'll have commercials for this product like we have for other products that like it'll be for a particular type of food, and the food is not even in the commercial, but it's advertising the idea that they want to put across?
Well, we've seen that now with Doritos and some of the other ones that we've seen.
But it's not in the commercial.
Was it Reese's or
I think it was Doritos, where there was.
Well, there was a candy bar one too for Halloween, and I can't remember which one it was now because they didn't advertise the fucking candy. Because I can remember, was it Nestle or something like that? But basically, going back to 1995, blue beat purple and pink.
Oh
I knew it was the other
we could have had a pink
M&M. You get them for Easter, though.
Yes, that's right. The pastel colors, pastel lavender.
You can actually order them now. I don't know if y'all know. You can go to like the website and you can order like custom M&Ms. Well, they'll put your face on it or like a message or anything. Yeah, I bought my kiddos a bag for some holiday, and I had their faces. It's cool. Really cute though. They turn them into like conversation
really after
art.
This bullshit.
Well, no, not now.
Can I just say I just have to laugh at the fact that the Rolling Stone is calling us out.
These motherfuckers have lost all like they went after Eric Clapton.
They're
and
so
shit.
woke now.
Like I can't believe you're right. Like I can't
they
believe
are. Yeah. It's just like I just had to laugh. I'm just like, of all the places.
Even they know this is it's so stupid. Exactly. But yet again, even when we are talking about candy, just little mascots for candy. They don't want women to be overly feminine, even when it's not a real
shoes.
woman and it's just candy. They do not want women to
But
be in
she's
any
bossy,
way.
Used to be
Mandy.
higher. They used to be
But she's
higher
very
freaking
sexy.
heels.
That is the Vanessa Williams character, right?
Well, I don't know about that
I don't know which
anymore,
one she
but
was.
Why do I want to say it was like Elaine?
I thought she was
from
the green one, but I
Seinfeld?
could be wrong. But
Was
I think
she? I can't
I think Vanessa
remember.
was the green one.
That
Okay.
would make sense.
because she
That's
was
the
Miss
more
America,
popular.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or was being an operative
Was.
word, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous.
This
This is,
is
again,
nuts.
it's smoke and mirrors. Hey, look, we're not that bad. We know that we are, tying children to tables in basements and they're going blind from no sunlight stuff. But look, we are taking away this green M&M slutty shoes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got
what's
you.
next? Are we not going to be able to get not Halloween, Valentine's candy that says "I love you" or "You're sweet" or "You're mine"? Are they going to take all those things?
No, they're
Those
going
are
to
too
say
misogynistic.
they're too misogynistic. They're going to say stuff now like the conversation is female. And
Can I have your consent?
yes, may I have your consent?
If you tell me your pronouns, I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
What's your pronoun? Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be now.
Oh, God, this is freaking nuts.
So
But this
dumb.
is the kind of clown world stuff that we get to laugh at on the show.
Absolutely. But no, I think it is just a big diversionary tactic to
It is.
get
I
a
would agree, Tom.
because I remember, and this is like going back that like they were griping about the price of chocolate was going to be going up. Well, that's how they got around it, was starting to enlist this child labor shit and buying chocolate from these countries that were using it and stuff like that. And it's no different than any of these other industries that do it, right? And I'm and that's all they're doing is they're trying to distract from getting in trouble for it right now.
Exactly. Because God forbid, this American company bring their factories over to fucking America
I know.
and pay Americans a living wage to work in their factories for this item that Americans are buying. What do I know, though? They'd lose, they may not be able to upgrade to a G6. They may have to fly around in a G4.
This is coming from a fat kid. Maybe a candy bar should be $5 or $10.
Perhaps if it keeps kids from going blind in factories.
And not just that, but keeps our ass from being so goddamn fat.
Nah, people come up with that $10. Look at how they all were cracked.
No,
Go get it.
You know what? I'll be less likely to buy those candy bars if they cost $5-10 as opposed to $1.
I mean, I'm already about to the point where I'm going to quit buying Cokes just because of how
and that's the other thing that I got to kill.
Much this shit costs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. $12.
Well, not just that, but it's
case.
costing my life at this point. I drink way too much soda.
Look, Lorena over there probably drinking vodka in that bottle.
I would be.
It's rum. No, just kidding.
Rum, yeah, see, it's rum. Fuck, she's going all out. Fuck this vodka shit. Let's get back into these super chats so we can get on out of here.
Let's see. We have Bird Up for $2. Thank you so much. Mars Company, fighting misogyny by defeminizing candy.
I guess so.
See how stupid that sounds. Oh shit. Chris Catman for $5. Thank you so much, hon. I really like the different perspective that everyone brings. Remember where Script was talking about what made woke? His comments made me think. Script
Glad to hear it. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And Script knows his shit. That's why I keep him very close. Then we got Battle Him 63.
Yes, Battle Him 63 for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Battle Him 63. Isn't one of the M&Ms supposed to identify as a Skittle now?
I think that was a Babylon Bee story or some shit like that. I saw. Yeah.
Funny. And Troy Pacelli for $2. Thank you so much. Says trans M&M identifies as Skittles. S&M.
Skittles. Yes, indeed.
Makes
S&Ms.
sense.
That's hilarious, Troy.
I love that.
That was good.
Oh my god.
Then we got Bird Up again.
Yeah, Bird Up for $5. Again, thank you so much, hon.
Yeah.
I see a dark future coming where we are given a gender neutral Miss Pac-Man who looks exactly like Pac-Man because bows and lipsticks are oppressive. No, you are 100%
Yeah, we'll have
right.
a problem figuring out which one's Pac-Man and which one's not.
Yeah.
And Marilyn's id for $5. Thank you so much for another $5 super chat. My husband is a neurodivergent, polyamorous furry with a learning disability and a wheelchair. Eat Arby's.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
That sounds like a fucking party right there.
I'm trying to picture that.
Right? That's a party going
You
on.
go.
Hey, whatever you guys make work.
Exactly.
Right?
Go for it.
Exactly.
No judgment.
And there'll be plenty of M&Ms that ask for consent for you guys this holiday
S&Ms.
season.
S&Ms.
S&Ms.
Yeah.
We got to
There you go.
trademark that shit. That's hilarious. But yeah, we're caught up now, and I want to thank everybody for the super chats, and most of all, I want to thank Mandy
No,
for being
thank
able to
you
make it.
guys. I
We
have
have missed you.
y'all. I have missed y'all so much. And don't worry, guys. Are y'all ready? I brought a Mandy suture tonight. Are
I
y'all
didn't
ready?
want to
for
ask.
one?
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
No,
so-
I got one. All right, you guys, get ready. I'm going to teach y'all how to be the best lovers in the world, okay?
All right.
This one is called the G4. Okay? So, well, the G4 bull. This is where you get your girl all hyped up, right? You get her going. Right when you're ready to bone, right? Right as you start tagging it, you tell her how much more bangable your ex-girlfriend was, and then you hang on with all your might while she tries to buck you off. The G4 bull, you guys. There you go. Hold on tight. Ride that shit.
Can I add one?
Yeah,
Can we call it the foreskin or the frostgrin or whatever the hell her name is?
I love it. Yes.
And where it is where
Frost.
you tell your partner to jerk off, but then you refuse to let him to jerk off while looking at you.
That's it. Yes, that's the add-on. That's the build-up.
And
then you make sure that you talk about how much more bangable your ex is.
Yep. Then it leads into
hang
that.
on.
Very good. Yeah. See, this is why we're a team, man. This is
it. This is it.
You can't come up with this shit after a cup of coffee. You gotta,
That's
Then
right.
we got Raymond Hoy coming in with another 10. Thank you so much. You want to grab this one, Lorena? Or
Sure. Raymond Hoy for $10. Thank you so much. With the madness in the world, especially after having the plague recently. Oh, I'm glad you recovered. It's comforting to have good things like Toxic Femme in my life. You're all my safe space. I love you all so much. You too, Tom.
how you doing?
Raymond, that is so sweet.
Thank you so much. So generous. Thank you.
We appreciate it, man.
you.
And we appreciate all of you. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's go around the bend here. Tell the folks about your channel and all that business.
Yes. I do have a YouTube channel called Positive Fandom. And you can also find me streaming on Twitch, Positive Fandom, one word. But you can also find me here on Toxic Femmes on Monday nights. On Thursday nights at 9 p.m., you can find me on the 1/6 Scale Man Network and Uncivilized Scoundrels. Sometimes on Fridays, you can find me on Midnight's Edge in the morning at 12 o'clock. And I don't know what time it's going to come on this Friday, but you will find me on the Burr Network on our new show. It's going to be called Midnight. We haven't figured out the name yet, but it's going to be at a different time. I think it's going to be at maybe 10 p.m. Eastern. So until we figure out what time it's going to air, I will see you there.
I think we missed one from Freakadelic. Let me go back and look. And while I'm doing that, Mandy.
Yeah.
Please get us back up to date with what you've been up to.
All right. So, yes, you guys, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mandy Summers. You can find me on my YouTube channel. It's Mandy Summers. And you guys, I just did the pre-launch for my next book that I'll be doing called Gym Shock. So you guys head on over to Indiegogo, sign up, get on that mailing list so you guys will be you get some discounts and some access to some secret parts. And you guys, we have a Dale Keown cover on this campaign. So I've been working with Dale Keown a little bit as we've been kind of working together has been so much fun. But yeah, a Del Keown cover on this one. So definitely, please, you guys, go check out, sign up for Gym Shop, get on that mailing list.
Woo,
And
I
also,
just did.
and also, don't forget to check out Jack the Ripper, Vampire Hunter, and Pirate Queen 2. If you have not seen those yet, they are also over on Indiegogo. So, and thank you guys.
Awesome.
I've had a blast. I miss y'all like crazy.
Hi,
I promise.
Mandy's book.
Hi, Mandy. Hi, her book. I can't wait to get my copy.
I'm so
I got
excited.
I got the grayscale cover. Can't wait.
I'm
Well,
so
hopefully
excited.
now that things have calmed down a little bit, we get you back a little bit more. But
Yes.
definitely check out Mandy's book. And I'm still looking for that. I know I remember seeing one from Freakadelic here, and now that you mentioned, I think we did miss it accidentally. So I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it here one way or another. But while I'm doing that, Lorena, where can the folks find you?
Well, folks, you can find me on Twitter, causing all kinds of havoc. You can also find me on Instagram, making people hungry with foods of pics, pics of food and other stuff. And of course, you can find me on YouTube, where I live stream about various things, have several shows, have guests on, I'll have her on, I'll stream with Mandy. As for what I have coming up, actually tomorrow at 5 p.m. on my after school special show that I co-host with Fat Steven Seagal, Ryan Kennel is going to be our guest.
How cool is that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Mandy just hit 100K subs. It's going to be on my little corner of YouTube. So it's going to be great. We're going to talk about film, books, whatever, all kinds of stuff. Just going to have a great time talking to Ryan. So hopefully you guys can join us.
And I apologize, Freakadelic. Sometimes this happens. I get lost in the shuffle. Please forgive me. It says Freakadelic here with $10, who's also a member. I'm a right feminism, the musical.
I'm a right feminism, the musical.
It's gonna fucking suck. For every one good thing about it, it'll have 10 bad things about it. Like feminism. It's less in feminism and traditionalism. One and the same.
Dude, I love this. I love this idea. Write it. I will put
feminism
I will back
musical.
It. I'll watch it. I'll do whatever, because you're right, dude. This is gonna fucking suck.
It totally is.
And I shall watch it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm down.
This how we going out now?
Oh yeah, you totally.
Oh, that's what's up. Is that the wrap it up music?
I don't know. It's in the thing. It's in the background here. I was gonna start singing a song about feminism, but
go for it.
I don't know. I don't have no words now.
It sounds metal.
It is pretty metal.
It did. I like that.
I lost my groove there for a minute. I was trying to listen to the song and I lost it.
We fucked it up.
Fucked it up. All right. Well, sorry about that, Freakadelic. I'm so sorry that we missed those once in a great while. But thank you for reminding me or let me know that I missed it. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else's. Let's see here. It looks like we're good to go on that end. Right. But yes, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Hit that like on the way out, and be sure to check us out again and check these ladies out in their own channels as well. I'm trying to find the damn button here. Button, who's got the button?
Thanks for being with us.
Tom.